Trojan football moments away on midpenbroadcasting.com.
The Thundering Herd marching band is performing the pregame ceremony before the game, of course. It's pregame. They appear to be about 80 members strong. A nice horn section. I heard the drum line before the game, and they were awesome. Great drum line.
Where over 70 local sporting events a year stream live to your PC, laptop, phone, and tablet.
This is Chambersburg Trojans football on midpenbroadcasting.com.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us on the F&M Trust Sports Network on midpenbroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com. It's time for Chambersburg Trojan football. It's week 8. Trojans 1-6 will take on the Carlisle Thundering Herd coming in tonight 3-4. I'm Mike Berger along with Gary Lang, and thank you so much for joining us tonight as the Chambersburg Trojans. It's hard to believe there's only 2 more games after tonight for the Chambersburg Trojans to close out the 2015 campaign. And once again, another tough matchup, this time against the Carlisle Thundering Herd. After these messages, we'll go over what happened last week, get you ready for tonight's game right after these messages. This is the F&M Trust Sports Network on midpenbroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Why Erie received the J.D. Power Award for highest in customer satisfaction with the auto insurance purchase experience 3 years in a row.
Your Erie agent in Greencastle and Waynesboro is Antrim Insurance Agency. Get a quote at antriminspa.com.
Erie Rate Lock is not available in all states. Limited to 3 years in Virginia. Other conditions and limitations at erieinsurance.com. For J.D. Power Award information, go to jdpower.com.
Erie Insurance. Everything's falling this season, including F&M Trust home equity rates. With the home equity line of credit from F&M Trust, you can pay less rate and add more great to your life. Get extra funds to pay off high-interest bills, tackle home remodeling projects, or make other big purchases. Apply today, and you'll rake in even more savings with F&M Trust special introductory rate. For details, connect with any local branch or visit fmtrustonline.com. Equal housing lender.
Del Martin Incorporated, a full-service advertising agency, has been serving the tri-state area for 35 years. We specialize in screen printing and embroidered clothing. Del Martin Incorporated supplies a full range of brand-name uniforms for athletic, applications, and a full line of advertising essentials. We have an in-house artist ready to put your ideas to work for you. T-shirts for schools, clubs, churches, and events. Del Martin Incorporated, 21 Sarah Susan Lane, Greencastle. Phone 717-597-5751 or online at delprint.com.
There's nothing like being at the game. The excitement, the fun, the food, and all the waste. Whether it's popcorn boxes, hot dog wrappers, waste. That's why Waste Management is helping stadiums and businesses reduce waste altogether through recycling and organic composting. To learn more, talk to your local waste management representative or visit thinkgreen.com.
You're listening to Trojans Football with Gary Klein and Mike Berger on midpenbroadcasting.com.
Tonight's pregame show brought to you by Anthem Insurance, your local area insurance agents serving Greencastle, Waynesboro, and Chambersburg, Mercersburg, and surrounding areas. Anthem Insurance, 169 South Antrim Way, Greencastle, and 1685 East Main Street, Waynesboro. Mike Berger along with Gary Lang, thank you so much for joining us. Tonight's Week 8 action, Trojans and Thundering Herd. It's senior night here, so they're doing some festivities. If you're watching on GameTimePA.com, John Irwin's doing a good job getting you all the close-ups of tonight's ceremonies. And we'll talk about the game they had last week. Chambersburg, after a nice finally getting on the win column, a homecoming game against Mifflin County, they had a hard time last week against CD East Panthers. They lost 42-3, and really it was a closer game than the score indicates. Trojans had some great defense. They were in the contest all the way up close to halftime. And then CD East was able to pull away of a late touchdown to go into halftime. And unfortunately for the Trojans, it was all the CD East Panthers. Tonight, the new game, Trojans, Carlisle, and Gary. There's a lot of history tonight. This is the 100th time that both teams have faced, and it's hard to believe it's one of the longest runs around. And just a lot of history. And for Chambersburg, they like to go in the history books tonight with a victory.
Yeah, Chambersburg trails in the 100 meetings. Carlisle is 155, Chambersburg 44, and there's been one tie. And it's a lot of ebbs and flows. It seems like for a series of years, Carlisle may be on a winning streak, and then Chambersburg wins 6 in a row. So, they've had a history, probably one of the longest rivalries in the state. And, gosh, they've been here nearly every year, or every other year, I should say, because home and away as we rotate. But it's been a great rivalry, and we just hope we have a great game tonight, that Chambersburg can complete the game. This season, it seems to be a season of halves. First half in many of the games, they are in the game, and then second half, they just lose steam, Mike.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And the last time you've done a game, Gary, a lot of things have changed with the Chambersburg Trojans. They finally got a W, even though now they're 1-6, and they have a new head coach, the interim coach Scott Mitchell. So Scott's just trying to get his defense, which has been a plus throughout the year. They have been able to do some key things and hopefully gain that momentum into next year. But the offense had their fits, not really scoring a lot of points on the scoreboard. Carlisle is a team that likes to score 34 points a game, but they do allow 37. So it'll be interesting to see what's going to happen tonight, as this, like Gary has been talking about, 100th time both teams have played since 1915. And in between those years, Gary, the Cubs have not won a World Series. So it's been a long stretch. And Ed Galwas had a great article in the Public Opinion about the history of this. So it'll be interesting. We can't wait to tell you about it. If you're watching on GameTimePA.com, thank you very much. I'd like to thank our sponsor tonight putting this together, F&M Trust, Antrim Insurance, Waste Management, Del Martin Incorporated, Lecron Comfort Solutions, and Klein Tours. And we'll be right back, and we'll get you ready for Friday Night Football after these messages. This is the F&M Trust Sports Network on midpenbroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Had an auto accident? It's common to wonder how things could have turned out differently, if only.
No regrets.
If only you had Erie Insurance. With Erie, instead of regrets, you can focus on putting your mishap behind you. With an Erie Rate Lock auto policy, your rate won't take a hit, no matter what. It stays put until you change a car, driver, or address. People who treat you fairly, legendary service, great rates. That's what it means to have seriously good insurance for your auto, home, or business. Erie Insurance. See for yourself why Erie received the J.D. Power Award for highest in customer satisfaction with the auto insurance purchase experience 3 years in a row.
Your Erie agent in Greencastle and Waynesboro is Antrim Insurance Agency. Get a quote at antriminspa.com.
Erie Rate Lock is not available in all states. Limited to 3 years in Virginia. Other conditions and limitations at erieinsurance.com. For J.D. Power award information, go to jdpower.com.
Erie Insurance. Everything's falling this season, including F&M Trust home equity rates. Use home equity funds for big purchases or to pay off high-interest bills. Apply today and rake in even more savings with F&M Trust special introductory offer. Visit fmtrustonline.com. Equal housing lender.
Have heating or air conditioning needs? Look no further than Lecron's Comfort Solutions. We service all brands: heat pumps, humidifiers, system replacements, gas, oil, electric heat, and ductless systems. Lecron's Comfort Solutions is your authorized Terrain dealer. Call Corey at 717-597-3768 for a free estimate. We are licensed and insured. Lecron's Comfort Solutions. Local company, local name. Serving Greencastle and all of Franklin County with professional service and installation.
MidPennBroadcasting.com, your home of the Chambersburg Trojans.
Welcome back to Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. Chambersburg High School, it's Chambersburg Trojan football on a nice night for football as far as weather-wise. Gary, I'll let you give the weather report for everybody.
Well, the game time temperature is 59 degrees. Slight wind out of the east at about 3 miles per hour. And it's scattered darkness right now, I guess. When I got up this morning walking the dog, I thought, this is going to be a great night for football. The proper temperature, crisp fall day.
It sure is, Gary. And ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. Chambersburg Trojan Marching Band doing a great job of our national anthem. And tonight's game, we got a lot of offense we hopefully won't be talking about as far as the Carlisle side of things, but they do like to put some points on the board. They do have a new quarterback, number 4, Eric Harris. Eric Harris, he is a catalyst as far as the offense. He really leads the charge. They like to spread the offense out. He has a lot of key receivers. He's replacing Billy Berger, who graduated last year. He was their quarterback for several years. So what's interesting with Eric, he actually didn't even play football last year, but he has the smarts of knowing what to do on the offensive end. It's a lot of game planning, of course. On the offense, you got to know where to go for as far as formations, and the key thing for him is finding the open guy against a tough Chambersburg defense. Chambersburg's done a great job on the line this year. You got the likes of Braxton and Kelton Chasilick. I mean, they've been really doing a great job with tackles. In fact, they each had 10 or 11 in last week's loss against CD East. So, Gary, there's some key things. They got to watch the Carlisle offense. They like to go up in a hurry. And for Chambersburg, they don't want to start this game, whoever's going to get the ball here, in a deficit situation in the first quarter early on.
Well, in the Mifflin County game, Mike, Chambers ran for almost 300 yards, I believe, and did not put the ball in the air very much. They had a devastating ground game against Mifflin County. For the year, they're pretty balanced with passing and rushing, but the downside of that is that they don't have enough passing and don't have enough rushing. Now, Carlisle, they put the ball more in the air than the U.S. Air Force does. They've got 4 receivers with at least 30 receptions, and the Chambersburg side, their leading receiver has 11 receptions. So we've got to watch for this spread offense of Carlisle tonight, Mike.
Yeah, it's amazing with Harris, when he's throwing an average of 38 passes a game, 70% of them are completed. I mean, that's huge. A high school quarterback throwing 70% of your passes. That's really a big thing for Chambersburg to watch, as this is week 8. It's hard to believe. A couple more games to go. Chambersburg will be at Harrisburg at Cumberland Valley to close the season out. This is the last home game for Chambersburg in the 2015 campaign. It's senior night. A lot of stuff going on. It's a pink out for breast cancer awareness, so for a great cause. A lot of people are out. Gary gave us the weather. It's a great night to be here. Thank you so much for joining us as Chambersburg will be kicking off to the Carlisle Thundering Herd.
Receiving the ball deep for Carlisle are number 3 Barnes and number 10 Millington. And we're ready for the kickoff.
And Azir Taylor, he got the signal, and he does a little squibber. It bounces around the 35-yard line, and the Thundering Herd will kneel down around the 28. And we'll start right there as Carlisle will start the offense, and we'll see how the Chambersburg Trojans do against a team that averages over 30 points a ball game.
I guess Carlisle has had some returns on kickoffs, and Chambersburg playing it safe. Squib kicked down inside the 30, which is a modern field position for Carlisle. Let's see if the Chambersburg defensive backs and linebackers can keep up with this spread offense of Carlisle.
Yeah, we'll have to watch that spread offense as Eric Harris, he's going under center. And Carlisle already, they're moving around, getting their offense set. So this will be the first play tonight here on Friday Night Football. And Carlisle better hurry up, but we're going to have the first penalty tonight, Gary, as finally they might have to call a timeout. And there's a flag. So what do you know, Gary? How often do you see, you don't even see a play yet, and there's a flag on the field?
Yeah, it's a delay of game against Carlisle. Their number 4, their wide receiver, that's their quarterback. Harris, he was slow getting on the field, number 4.
Yeah, Harris was out there, and he went back to the coaching staff, wasn't sure what to run. Now he's ready, and let's see as...
Look at that formation, Mike.
The Herds have 3 receivers on the right side, and Harris wants to throw, and it is complete at the 25-30, and still on his feet is number 10, Deshaun Millington, and he's tackled around the 44-yard line.
Wow, gain of about 15 to 17 yards there. Swing past the right, and the Herd was in motion.
So just getting underway here after a 5-yard penalty. Harris able to make that up in a hurry with a fresh set of downs. As he's way back there, shotgun, now gets the feed. He fakes a handoff and says, fires a missile to number 3. It's incomplete. And now attendant receiver Gavin Barnes just off his fingertips, and it'll be second down.
Carlisle receivers all over the field there. I guess he has his choice, and he looks for the one that's most open or apt to catch a pass there.
Gavin Barnes, 8 touchdowns coming in tonight's contest, 58 catches with over 700 yards of total offense. It'll be second and 10. Carlisle with the spread receivers on both sides, and overthrown to number 6. That would be John Christopher, a 6'1" wide receiver. And it'll be third down.
Third down and 10 for the Herd.
And this is what hurt Gary the Trojans thus far this year, these third down conversions. The Chambersburg Trojans have had a hard time stopping the third down. And when they're on offense, they're unfortunately have to punt the ball away because they always seem to be in that 7, 8, 9, 10 yards to gain for a first down. So let's see what happens here as Eric Harris steps a couple steps back, barks for the call, gets the football, and he throws a little high catch over to number 10, Deshaun Millington. He's still on his feet, goes through a couple of tacklers, finally knocked out of bounds, and just like that, talking about third down conversions, Carlisle gets a first down.
A little screen pass, and he juked and moved and spun, and Carlisle's in business. Another first and 10 with 11:23 left in the first quarter.
Yeah, Carlisle with Barnes and Tyler Green, some other key receivers, and here you go with Militant. He's been doing all the work thus far as finally a rushing play there as number 32, Tyler Green, their main running back, gets a yard or so. They'll make it 2 yards.
Here's an unusual formation.
And this is something the Chambersburg Trojans are just going to have to get used to. I'm sure they knew about this coming in. There is a flag on the field, and maybe because of that formation, the catch has been made by the Carlisle Thundering Herd, but it looked like, Gary, little misplacement there on the offensive formation.
Yes, pass and the catch are inside the 15. We'll have to see what the flag is. Is that an illegal procedure?
Yes, it is, Gary, and being for the officials with those type of formations, it's going to be tough for them. They got to make sure, you only have so many in the backfield. You have so many on the line looking for eligible receivers. So for there, again, the second penalty of this series for Carlisle. It's going to be now 2nd and 14. Just underway here. Mike Berger along with Gary Lang. 10:52 to go first quarter. No score. And Carlisle with the football. As Harris now, he feeds it over to number 32, Tyler Green. He gets a couple yards, and once again, another flag. And we'll see what that flag will be.
Well, this is somewhat entertaining. All the formations Carlisle's been running, and Chambersburg's been trying their best to stop the herd.
Yeah, I mean, Carlisle, it is nice. They have these unique offensive sequences, but, man, when you're going behind, in the wrong direction, you're going to have to figure something out as far as adjustments. So now it's still 2nd down. Double sticks here, 14 yards to go for first down as Eric's going to have his work cut out, quarterback for Carlisle.
It looks a little bit longer than that. That may have been a 15-yard penalty for some reason.
So now another feed to his main guy, Tyler Green. He goes 45-40, bounced out of bounds around the 36-yard line. They'll be close to the original line of scrimmage before all the penalties start coming in play.
He was following his blockers quite well. He was not outrunning his blocking. He did very well on that.
So Carlisle taking the first 2 minutes off the clock here on this first set of offense as Harris now wants to throw. His intended receiver, it's caught, number 26. That's Nate Barnes. Nate Barnes with 5 touchdowns before tonight's contest. He makes a nice leaping catch, and it's a fresh set of downs for Carlisle. 1st and 10 on the 13-yard line.
Carlisle on the move.
Isn't that amazing? You have penalties, and now you got them only 13 yards away for a quick 6. As now another handoff to Tyler Green, and he is stopped good by the Chambersburg Trojan defense.
It looked like could have been Warren Lee, number 12, in on that tackle there.
Yeah, Sean Vessa as well. So double tackle there, stopping the attack of Tyler Green. He's had the ball a lot here. 9:25 to go, first quarter. As Eric is now looking to pass again. He finds somebody open, and it's a touchdown. And it'll go to number 26, Nate Barnes. And with 9:15 to go in the first quarter, Carlisle strikes first. It's 6-0 Carlisle.
9-yard touchdown pass.
So a 9-yard touchdown. Nice slant there by Barnes to find an opening into the end zone. And it took almost 3 minutes to score for Carlisle, and they like to do that a lot. They put some points on the board, and that extra point is good by the Thundering Herd. And with 9:15 to go here in the first, Carlisle strikes. It's 7, Chambersburg nothing. We'll be right back after these messages. This is the F&M Trust Sports Network on MidPennBroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Everything's falling this season, including F&M Trust home equity rates. With the home equity line of credit from F&M Trust, you can pay less rate and add more great to your life. Get extra funds to pay off high-interest bills, tackle home remodeling projects, or make other big purchases. Apply today, and you'll rake in even more savings with F&M Trust's special introductory rate. For details, connect with any local branch or visit fmtrustonline.com. Equal housing lender.
Chalk Talk. We talk high school football every Thursday night at 7:30 on MidPennBroadcasting.com.
Back here at Chambersburg High School, Carlisle scoring here 7-0 on the Nate Barnes catch in the end zone as the Chambersburg Trojans now will get the ball for the first time. And the kicker is number 82, freshman Khalib Richwine. And Chambersburg, Gary, like we said in the beginning of the contest, you don't want to be in the hole right away. And look at the scoreboard, it's 7-0.
A couple of those passes, Chambersburg attempted the interception, but the quarterback was just too accurate, threaded the needle.
So here is the kick, and it's caught by the Trojans' Joshua Honorads, and he's stopped around the 28-yard line. And we'll see what the quarterback for the Chambersburg Trojans will do.
That was a short kickoff to the Trojan 25 and a 3-yard return.
And we'll see who the Chambersburg Trojans start at quarterback tonight. They've been mixing up a little bit this season. They had Hunter Leedy, number 16, and also Caden Hoover. And it looks like it is Hoover to start the contest as he's under center. A couple receivers on the left side, motion by Darius Johnson, and then a handoff. And it's 30 to the 34-yard line, and that'll be number 27, Carter Edmondson.
Nice pickup on the play. Followed the blockers, picked up about 6 yards. 2nd and 4 for the Chambersburg Trojans.
So Caden Hoover, who had 84 passing yards in last week's loss. And another thing we noticed last week, see how Darius Johnson will do. He's kind of banged up. He was limping around last week as well, as the Trojans now 2nd and 5, 8:39 to go here, first quarter. And again, a handoff to Edmondson. He's still on his feet, couple tackles, and he's down around the 40-yard line. Should be enough for a first down. And it is Chambersburg. Fresh set of downs as they're marching down the field here with 8:30 to go.
Pick up about 7 yards on the play. Trojans have had success the first 2 rushing plays here. Will they keep the ball on the ground most of the night tonight, Mike?
And they got a challenge with a team that had 3 penalties on their first drive and still able to score. I mean, that's something that, really you're flipping the coin. The luck's not on your end. So now 1st and 10. Right foot click showing motion. And it's now handed off to Darius Johnson. He goes nowhere. He's stuck by 3 Hurd. And the Chambersburg's going to have to take a loss on that one.
He was running east-west instead of north-south.
And Nate Barnes, you hear a lot of these players. They do offense, they do defense. It's amazing. Nate Barnes, part of that tackle. And we'll keep you updated on some other big games tonight. You got Greencastle and Northern. That's at Greencastle.
That's our homecoming game.
Yes, it is. Gary Klein has all the play-by-play. We'll keep you up to date on that. And Shippensburg and Big Spring with the Little Brown Jug game. We'll have that score hopefully for you as well. Here we go. 2nd and 13. Hoover, a little squib over to, looks like Darius Johnson, and he'll go over to the 45-yard line, about a 6-yard gain.
Bring up 3rd and short, maybe about 3rd and about 5.
And here we go for Chambersburg. They've had their fits on this type of deal with the 3rd down scenario. It's been 5 or more, and unfortunately the percentage has not been their way. They would have to punt. Well, let's see if Caden Hoover can change all of that. As he's out of the huddle now in shotgun formation. 2 receivers on the left side. As he waits for the football, he fakes the handoff. Now he's going long, and his intended receiver is caught. And it's by Sean Vessa, and he's tackled short of the first down. It's going to be close, around the 49. Looks like the first down marker is on the 48 on the other end. Well, let's see what they do. It looks like they're saying officially 1 yard to go. And for interim coach Scott Mitchell, I mean, you got to take chances. You got nothing to lose. You're 1-6. I would say go for it.
And it figures that's what they're doing. Couple players out, couple players in.
So it looks like they're definitely a why not.
7 seconds left on the play clock.
As Hoover gets out of the huddle, goes under center, and he wants to feed it, and he does, and it looks like it's good enough for a first down for the Chambersburg Trojans. That's Carter Edmondson.
Running off the right side there. Picked up several yards. Good for the first down. So Chambersburg, their 2nd first down of the quarter here.
Yeah, they definitely need to capitalize. You got a team that likes to score and score a lot. And when you get your chances on your possession, you need to do the same. As now Trojans with their 2nd first down in this series with 5:37 to go and ticking here in the first quarter.
Chambersburg's offense on the field means that Carlisle's offense is off the field.
So now Hoover, he wants to feed it to Darius Johnson. He goes right down the middle. Good yardage by Darius Johnson with his strong athleticism. And he's going to be close to a first down. It's going to be second and short. Maybe about 2 or 3 yards to go. So number 18, senior Darius Johnson. He does a little bit of everything. Kickoff returns, a little defense. And he's definitely good on the offense as Trojans are moving down the field. As shotgun waits for the football. Caden Hoover, the sophomore. And he hands it to Johnson. He does a couple spin moves, tackled now by the whole team of the Thundering Herd. And finally, he's down around the 29, and it'll be first down, Chambersburg.
Third first down in this drive. Impressive drive for Chambersburg. They took that chance on 4th and 1 and were successful, and they keep moving the ball here.
So great job by the Trojan offense. And a good crowd here tonight at Trojan Stadium.
Senior night for the football players and the cheerleaders.
As Hoover's out of the huddle. He has his running back beside him, and he feeds it to him. Warren Lee, he goes right through it like a hot knife through butter, and he's tackled down around the 16-yard line.
Another first down.
Warren Lee, 5'10", 170-pound senior. He had 42 yards in rushing last week. And what a great job. I mean, it's like the waters, it just opened up and he just went through.
That means the front line of the Trojans there, that offensive line, they're doing their job opening big holes here for the running backs.
Yeah, we talked about that in the pregame. They have some guys on the front line are big, they're strong, and they can really create those holes now. As it's first and 10, 3:55 to go. We got some motion and we got a flag. Actually, we're going to call a timeout. So a timeout by Chambersburg. And we'll take a quick timeout here. It's Chambersburg down 7, but they're knocking on the door with 3:53 to go. This is the F&M Trust Sports Network on MidPennBroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Everything's falling this season, including F&M Trust home equity rates. With the home equity line of credit from F&M Trust, you can pay less rate and add more great to your life. Get extra funds to pay off high-interest bills, tackle home remodeling projects, or other big purchases. Apply today, and you'll rake in even more savings with F&M Trust special introductory rates. For details, connect with any local branch or visit fmtrustonline.com. Equal housing lender.
Chalk Talk. We talk high school football every Thursday night at 7:30 on MidPennBroadcasting.com.
Buddy, you're a boy, make a big noise, playing in the street, gonna be a big man someday.
Mike Berg along with Gary Lang. Let's set the table for you. Trojans, fresh set of downs, ball on the 18-yard line, deep in Carlisle territory. And after that timeout, Chambersburg wants to score as they're down by 7 points. So motion by Johnson on the left side. Hoover gets the ball, and he feeds it again to Lee. And he maybe gets a yard or so as the Thundering Herd. It looks like they were thinking that was going to happen because they were ready for it.
Still picked up a couple of yards there off right tackle, and Trojans continue to move the ball.
So 4 first down on the ground already for the Chambersburg Trojans. As time's ticking here, 3:30 to go in the first. Good balanced ball game thus far. Yes, Carlisle did score first, but Chambersburg looks confident out there. And here's their chance now. Ball on the 16-yard line, 2nd and 8. Hoover has it. He's going back a couple steps, trying to find an open man, and it's missed. And it looks like by number 82, Griffin Leedy. So Griffin Leedy, it was just on his fingertips, couldn't grab it.
Brings up a key third down here. 3rd and 8 for Chambersburg.
Yes, it is definitely a key. And you say, why you say key in the beginning of a contest? Well, for the Chambersburg Trojans, they only average about 14 a game. If you want to stay in this contest, you need to score right now.
Momentum. Let's see if Mo is still in the building.
So the Trojans, after a couple substitutions, get set here. 3rd and 8. Ball on the 16-yard line. Shotgun formation. As Hoover now waits, gets the ball, swings over to the right side, looking for somebody in the end zone, and it is caught. Let's see if he stayed in bounds. It looks like he did. And it'll be a fresh set of downs for the Chambersburg Trojans. Great catch by number 18, Darius Johnson. He was on the far right side.
Pick up about 15 yards on the play, Mike.
Wow, what a catch by Johnson. What a momentum shift. As the crowd liked that one, as now the Chambersburg Trojans have the ball on the 1-yard line.
Are you predicting a pass or a run now, Mike?
I say the way Warren Lee is doing good to the line, I would predict a run. Now let's see what happens here as Hoover under center. He's looking for his man. It is Warren Lee. He goes in hard, and it looks like it's a touchdown for Chambersburg. Yes, it is. Warren Lee, 1 yard, and the Chambersburg Trojans are within 1. It's now 7-6. So 3:03 to go here, first quarter. A lot of great action thus far as Warren Lee goes in for a 1-yard rush into the end zone.
And Taylor on for the PAT attempt.
Nazir Taylor, he's only a sophomore as well, and that one is money right down the middle. And just like that, the Chambersburg Trojans have tied this contest, and we'll have more action for you right after these messages. This is the F&M Trust Sports Network on MidPennBroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Del Martin Incorporated, a full-service advertising agency, has been serving the tri-state area for 35 years. We specialize in screen printing and embroidered clothing. Del Martin Incorporated supplies a full range of brand-name uniforms for athletic, work, and medical applications, and a full line of advertising essentials. We have an in-house artist ready to put your ideas to work for you. T-shirts for schools, clubs, churches, and events. Del Martin Incorporated, 21 Sarah Susan Lane, Greencastle. Phone 717-597-5751 or online at delprint.com.
Back here at Chambersburg High School as the kick by Taylor was almost fumbled and was by Carlisle, but they will recover as the Trojans, as Gary Klein would say, got the equalizer. It's now 7-7 here already, 3:02 left here in the first quarter. So, Gary, what did you see on that series? Great job by the Chambersburg Trojans with, 4 first downs and a nice run by Warren Lee.
Good play calling by the Trojans, a good execution. Chambersburg wanted it, they got it. They are tied with Carlisle, 7-7 with 3:02 left in the first quarter.
And let's see what Eric Harris does now since he has the football. He wants to pass, and it's intended receiver drops the football, and there was 4 defenders around him. That could have been a great opportunity for Chambersburg. The receiver was Nate Barnes, who has the first score of tonight's contest.
Threw his hands and fell softly to the ground there. Could have been an opportunity to intercept, but wasn't meant to be. But this brings up a 2nd and 10 for the Thundering Herd.
So the Trojans, they should be pumped up after that big drive there as nowhere to go. Number 26, Nate Barnes. We've been saying his name a lot here for Carlisle as the Trojans offense was pumped up as Damian Roberts, number 9, and I also saw number 53, Justin Trollinger.
Nice solo tackle there. Roberts broke through and got a 5-yard loss on the play.
And it all started on the other end. It was actually Sean Vessa with the unbelievable catch there to make it at the 1-yard line, number 10. And Trojans able to come right back in this contest. 7-7, 2:23 to go. As Harris wants to throw, and again, it's incomplete. Great coverage by number 12 for the Chambersburg Trojans, Warren Lee. And they're pumped up as the intended receiver, Gavin Barnes, unable to put it down. And it's now 4th down, and they're going to have to punt.
Nice timely hit by Lee. Is he having a good ball game? Or
He's having a great ball
yes,
game, and what the thing the Trojans need to do is carbon copy this for the rest of the game. As Thundering Herd's going to have to punt. And here is the kick, a nice one by Harris. And it's caught by the Trojans, Austin Kopp, as he catches it around the 28 now, 30-35, and did he lose the football? Here comes the line just to check it out, and the Carlisle Thundering Herd thinks he did. And the referee says yes, and we're on the visiting side. They're excited, so man, that's not what you want to do. Great defensive stop by the Chambersburg Trojans.
A 10-yard return, but he fumbled the ball
Yeah,
away.
Kopp lost the ball, and right back, here comes Carlisle. Like to remind you, this game is sponsored by F&M Trust. Pay less rates, get more great this fall with a special offer on home equity line of credit. Learn more at FNMTrustonline.com. Equal housing lender. Mike Berger along with Gary Lang, remaining here, first quarter. Game is tied, and Carlisle just got a fumble from the Chambersburg Trojans kickoff team, and now looks like the Trojans are going to do some encroachment, and that's going to bring the Carlisle Thundering Herd 5 yards closer to their destination for another 6 points.
Chambersburg, the right side of the defensive line got drawn off side there by the cadence of the quarterback.
Yeah, the Trojans can't be careless as far as penalties, as the Herd had 3 on their last drive. And number 4 for Carlisle, Eric Harris, looking at the coach. Man, they take a lot of time between their plays.
7 seconds left on the play clock.
Yeah, Eric looking at Josh Oswald, the coach for Carlisle, and now he wants to throw, and it is caught. And it's caught by number 6, Christopher John Christopher, excuse me, and that's going to be good for another first down.
Nice crossing pattern and well executed by the Herd.
John Christopher, wide receiver as well, 6'1", 180 pounds. And here comes the Herd again as his handoff to Deshaun Militant. He goes from right side, left side. There's 2 flags on the field. He's still on his feet around the 10, the 5, and he's tackled. And this might be coming back as I look like the old famous block in the back.
A lot of laundry in the field there, Mike.
Usually when you see those flags like that, when they're running, it's usually 9 out of 10, a block in the back or a hold.
Yes.
And so all that for Millington, at least he got some exercise, but they're going to have to bring the football back.
It was a 1st and 10, and let's see what it's going to be now.
So the Trojans, they're going to have to do what they can to stop this. They caused this. They had the fumble off the kickoff. Carlisle retrieved it. Now motion by Deshaun Militant as Harris wants to throw, and he has a wide open number 6, John Christopher. He could have read a book before he caught that and dropped the football. Trojans had a spread defense, and it had some big holes in it. And Eric Harris saw his intended receiver, John Christopher, and he was all by himself.
Well, Harris looks over that field very well. He's got good sense for a quarterback.
So for Carlisle, 2nd and 21, 1:29 to go. Harris steps back. He wants to throw. His intended receiver's way over his head, and it'll be 3rd downs. Good coverage by the Chambersburg Trojans. Number 3, Austin Kopp. And then you're in this scenario, Gary, where, you're kind of far for a field goal. You got 21 yards to gain. That's Carlisle taking a lot of time here. 1:24 to go, just getting underway here at Chambersburg High School. Senior night, also the 100th time both of these teams have played. And I forgot to mention, each team has a commemorative sticker on their helmet. So,
yeah, I thought I saw a flag on the play there down around the 12-yard line.
So with the enforcement, Carlisle still has the football. And Gary, looks like there's a lot of confusion right now.
But it's much more manageable, 2nd and 11 than 2nd and 25.
As Eric Harris now looking at his coach, now has a chance, has the football, wants to throw, and it's intercepted by the Chambersburg Trojans, Austin Kopp. He catches it around the 9-yard line, and guess what? He's the one that fumbled the football, and now he intercepted it. So way to come back from that fumble, and Chambersburg has it right back here with 1:18 to go in the first.
Well, Harris, although he had 21 touchdown passes coming into the game, he's also had 13 interceptions. So defenders are looking for the passing play, and Austin Kopp on that done, copped the interception.
And Austin, he's pumped up. He's there on the sideline celebrating with his teammates. Great job by him, and now the Trojans have the ball on their own 9-yard line. Let's see what they can do as we have motion on the left side. It's fed over to Darius Johnson. He's at the 10. There is a flag, 15 down at the 17-yard line. And a lot of flags thus far here in the first. And we'll see who is against. Trojans are hoping it's against Carlisle, but it's not. It is against Chambersburg, and that's going to hurt.
That was sweep right, student body right.
So the Trojans already had the ball at the line of scrimmage at the 9-yard line, and they're going to march it back as the umpire. And he's going to take the football, looks like, to the 5.
Half the distance of goal.
So 1:07 to go here, first quarter.
Chambersburg on their second possession of the game.
And Mr. Hoover now, he's going to have his work cut out. First and 13. He's under center. He waits. He gets the ball. He feeds it to Lee. He maybe gets a yard or so, but rush tackled hard by the Thundering Herd defense. And with 47 seconds to go, what an action-packed first quarter we've had thus far. You had a guy, Austin Kopp, who gave up a fumble and then got an interception all in the first quarter.
Oh, yeah.
Not many people say they can do that.
Chambersburg has played well, with the exception of the fumble. But let's see if we get one more play in the first quarter here.
Yeah, we should get one more play at least. There's 9 seconds on the game, on the time clock, as we have motion for the Chambersburg Trojans, and now a feed. Instead, a fake feed, a pass, and it's intercepted by Carlisle around the 16-yard line. And just like that, we're giving props to the Chambersburg defense, and now they throw it away. So Carlisle will have a chance with one play left of 8 seconds to go first quarter, and not where you want to throw an interception on the football field. It's going to be placed on the 8-yard line. And way to Eric Harris. You know he loves to pass. I mean, he's thrown so many passes this year, averaging about 38 a game to be more specific. So we're looking here for 8 seconds to see if Chambersburg can at least hold them and keep this a tie going into the second quarter. So Eric Harris, he's in shotgun with his running back beside him. He feeds it to him. He goes through a couple tackles. Number 32 for Carlisle. That was Tyler Green, and that's going to end the first quarter here at Chambersburg, Pennsylvania, as the Chambersburg Trojans have a great one here. It's 7-7 against the Carlisle Thundering Herd, and we'll have second quarter action right after these messages. This is the F&M Trust Sports Network on MidPennBroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Everything's falling this season, including F&M Trust home equity rates. With the home equity line of credit from F&M Trust, you can pay less rate and add more great to your life. Get extra funds to pay off high-interest bills, tackle home remodeling projects, or make other big purchases. Apply today, and you'll rake in even more savings with F&M Trust's special introductory rate. For details, connect with any local branch or visit fmtrustonline.com. Equal housing lender.
Football season is here, and Klein Tours has your ticket and bus transportation to NFL action. We have trips to all Baltimore Ravens home games. Join Klein Tours as we travel to Miami to watch the Ravens play the Dolphins December 6th through 9th. We have your ticket and transportation to see the Washington Redskins. Trips to New York City, Atlantic City, multi-day tours, and more. Klein Tours, the Tri-State's #1 tour and travel agency. Visit us online at kleintours.com or phone 717-597-5997.
MidPennBroadcasting.com.
Back here to start the second quarter, as Eric Harris was trying to find an open man in the end zone as they have the ball on the 3-yard line. It was over his head, and now it's 3rd and 3 as Davis now throws a fired shot into the end zone, and it's good for a touchdown, and it's number 26 for the Thundering Herd, Nate Barnes, his second of this evening. And now the Thundering Herd are up 13-6. So a 3-yard throw, Barnes' second touchdown.
Now that that was just off the grass top there.
And now decided to go for a 2-point conversion. It looks like he crossed the plane. We'll see. Is number 3, Gavin Barnes. And they're saying no, he did not.
Fumbled snap on the PAT attempt, and he's held just inches short of the goal line. So Carlisle has a 13-7 lead with 11:52 left in the first half.
Yeah, and what a change of steams there in the first quarter. You had the Trojans knocking on the door for a score, and then an interception thrown. Carlisle had it in great field position. They start the second quarter with an overthrow, and then Nate Barnes with the catch 3 yards out. And then they had to try a 2-point conversion because of the mishandle there. So for the Trojans, one good thing you can say, at least they're only down by 6, not 7.
Yeah, but that was a golden opportunity for Carlisle, and they cashed in about an 8-yard drive there.
And Just a lot of things going on in that sequence of events for the Chambersburg Trojans. You had a player that caused a fumble, and then he got an interception. So let's see as Carlisle will kick off to the Chambersburg Trojans as Darius Johnson's standing there in the middle of the field around the 5-yard line.
Now, the first kick by Carlisle, first kickoff they had was a short kickoff to about the 25-yard line. Carlisle kicker does not have that strong a leg, it appears.
Carlisle leads the series 54-44-1. Yes, there was a tie during these 100 games throughout the year since 1915. As Khalid Richwine waits for the whistle, here he goes. And he does the kick, gets a little high one. It's going to bounce at the 30-yard line. And it's recovered by the Chambersburg Trojans. And still on his feet is number 21, Josh Hornerak. Great job. He's got the ball around the 33, and he goes out of bounds in Carlisle territory. Great start for the Trojans here in the second quarter.
Got a 25-yard return, and Trojans are in the herd territory already. Let's see if they continue their success with their ground game.
Yeah, and for the Trojans, Caden Hoover, he did a good job there in the first quarter, able to mix up the offense. Warren Lee, Carter Edmondson, Vessa with unbelievable catch there to get the Trojans their help with the 6 points with Warren running in. As we have motion by Honorat. And Hoover now, he feeds it to Darius Johnson, and he won't go nowhere as he's tackled by two thundering herd.
Yeah, he could not make the corner on that, tried to cut back, but a short loss on the play for Chambersburg.
Yeah, Zion Patterson with the tackle for Carlisle. Trojans 1-6 coming in tonight, week 8. Carlisle, they are 3-4, 1-3 in mid-pen play. Carlisle had a loss last week, 52-27 to Central Dauphin. Central Dauphin seems like every year they got a great football team. As here's the high snap, and it's fed to Warren Lee. He goes right through the middle. He goes to the 45-40 around the 36-yard line. Great job by Warren Lee, and I'll get Trojans close to attempt for another first down.
Brings up third and short. That high snap, fortuitous that the Chambersburg quarterback held on to it and made the handoff to Lee.
So 3rd and 3 is the Chambersburg crowd and the band trying to get the Trojans pumped up to get these 3 yards. As it's 10:35 here in the second quarter. Carlisle up by 6 points. So now motion by Lee as Hoover. Now he feeds it to Johnson, and he's tackled. Let's see if it's close to a first down. And yes, it is. As Chambersburg hands it off, gets the 3 yards, and a fresh set of downs for the Chambersburg Trojans.
Chambersburg's offensive line doing excellent job tonight. Opening big holes. The runners aren't touched till they're in the secondary.
Yeah, interim coach Scott Mitchell has to be happy with those results. There's some key things that have been definitely positive for the Chambersburg Trojans. And we're straight up 10 minutes here in the second quarter, and we got a flag. We got some motion on the Chambersburg Trojans offense, so the Darius Johnson run will be for nothing, as it'll be on Chambersburg. Officials are getting their workout tonight, throwing that yellow flag. And while they do the enforcement, I want to remind you about Chalk Talk. The only program dedicated exclusively to Franklin County High School football is on midpenbroadcasting.com. It's every Thursday night at the new John Allison Public House at 7:30. They'll preview each upcoming game, talk with players, coaches, and reporters. Join us live every Thursday night on midpenbroadcasting.com. So a penalty against Chambersburg. I'll bring them back 5. 1st and 15. 9:54 to go second quarter. Trojans down by 6. As once again, motion by Lee going to the left side as Hoover waits. He wants to throw. Instead, he hands it off again. And maybe a couple yards, but still a long way to go for a first down.
It looked as if he crossed the 30 there, more than what we originally thought.
And that was Darius Johnson again.
So he picked up about half of that 15 on the play there.
So it'll be 2nd and 8. Trojans down 13-7. Both both teams have had the offense about balanced, so, I mean, that's one good thing. Trojans seem like their defense is always on the field. And a feed to Carter Edmondson, and he's going nowhere. He's tackled by a host of herd. Looks like Chase Brock, big guy there in the middle with the nice tackle.
Hey, I'm going to take this moment, Mike. One of the Trojan players, his grandparents live out in Washington State, and they've been watching on Mid-Penn Broadcasting and the network here. So shout out to grandparents out in Washington State, and thank you for tuning in each week to watch the Trojans.
Definitely appreciate your listenership and viewership as 3rd and 10, 9 minutes to go here, second quarter. Hoover barking out the play calls, and he's going to take it himself. He didn't find nobody open. He's at the 30-25, another flag down. Gary, are you taking a tally? How many flags we've seen thus far? It has to be getting close to a record.
That laundry's going to be busy.
As the officials will gather around, they say, hey, it's nice weather out. They have no hurry. I mean, let's just call a lot of penalties as
there has been a lot of activity tonight. A lot of Carlisle's had their air game. Trojans have had their running game. It's been amazing. Do we have a timeout on the play, Mike?
Yeah, it looks like there's an injured, is that a player or seeing who that is on that? I can't tell. It's way on the other end. And while we take a few moments during this official timeout, we'll take a few moments with a couple commercials. And this is the F&M Trust Sports Network at MidPennBroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Everything's falling this season, including F&M Trust home equity rates. With the home equity line of credit from F&M Trust, you can pay less rate and add more great to your life. Get extra funds to pay off high-interest bills, tackle home remodeling projects, or make other big purchases. Apply today, and you'll rake in even more savings with F&M Trust special introductory rate. For details, connect with any local branch or visit fmtrustonline.com. Equal housing lender.
Football season is here, and Klein Tours has your ticket and bus transportation to NFL action. We have trips to all Baltimore Ravens home games. Join Klein Tours as we travel to Miami to watch the Ravens play the Dolphins December 6th through 9th. We have your ticket and transportation to see the Washington Redskins. Trips to New York City, Atlantic City, multi-day tours, and more. Klein Tours, the Tri-State's #1 tour and travel agency. Visit us online at kleintours.com or phone 717-597-5997.
MidPennBroadcasting.com.
Back here at Chambersburg High School, Trojans down 13-7, 8:56 remaining in the second quarter. And one thing you hardly ever say, the reason why we had to take a timeout, we had an injured official there as the line judge looked like he had an apparent leg injury, tweeted by Ed Gottwals. And if you want to look at all his tweets, it's at Ed Gottwals, P.O. And he said it looked like an injured official in the play, maybe a leg injury, and that's why we had a couple-minute timeout here. So the looks like we're going to play with one less official. I don't see he's coming back. So for the Trojans, it's 3rd and 10. This is a big play, Gary. They got 10 yards to go here. They're down by 6. Ball on the 38-yard line.
Well, it looks even longer. I thought Hoover had a running play out to the left there.
So now Hoover he goes to the left side. He wants to throw, and it's over the head of everyone. And the intended receiver is Darius Johnson. So after that 5-minute break, the Trojans wanted to pass, and of course they wanted to with the penalty enforcement before the timeout there because of the injured official. They had 17 yards for a first down, and pass was overthrown, and they're going to have to punt the football. And really the penalties have definitely hurt the Trojans on this drive. And now they're going to have to punt as Nazir Taylor, he's around the 46-yard line. He gets the ball, he takes his time, kicks the ball up in the air, and it Carlisle's going to let it bounce into the end zone as it goes over the head of Deshaun Middleton. And the Thundering Herd will have the ball on their own 20-yard line.
38-yard punt with a net of 18. So they start off 1st and 10 on their own 20.
We'll have Week 9 action next week. Chambersburg plays a Saturday game. That's at Harrisburg. Game is at 1 o'clock. And we'll have all that action for you. Also, Greencastle's at Waynesboro. That's always a big game.
Now, Chambersburg travels about 50 miles next week.
They travel about 50 miles. Harrisburg High School is a pretty nice facility. They have a good field. And
you know where Carlisle's traveling to next week?
I'll find that out for you after this play here, as the Trojans are going to try to stop Carlisle, as Harris able to find an open receiver. He's still on his feet, and he's knocked out of bounds around the 34-yard line. Looked like number 10, Deshaun Middleton.
Well, Carlisle's actually traveling to Washington, Iowa next week, an 863-mile road trip. So, and that's a Wednesday game for them. So they have a short week of preparation with a long week of travel.
And how did you get that? Why are they doing something like that?
That I don't know, but I saw it on their schedule now.
So here comes the Herd and a shotgun, and it's intercepted by the Chambersburg Trojans, number 3. That is Austin Kopp. He's still on his feet, 30, 35, and knocked out of bounds. That's Austin Kopp's second interception, and then there is a flag, but that was after the play. So the Trojans will have the football. We'll see what the penalty is. But Kopp now with 2 interceptions.
That bounced off the Carlisle receiver's hands up in the air, and Kopp was very alert, picked it up, and made a nice return on the play, too. Will the Trojans get the ball on the 25, or which direction will they be moving?
So Eric Harris, he loves to pass the football, and sometimes if you're passing a lot, it could hurt you, as Chambersburg Trojans looks like, as we're waiting to see officially what happened here.
15 yards marched off against Chambersburg. So instead of a great field position on the 25, they are back on the 40.
So it must have been an unsportsmanlike 15-yarder, but for Chambersburg, at least you can say, as Caden Hoover runs to his squad, they have the football. That's most important. 13-7, they're down. Ball's on the 40-yard line. As Hoover, he's been out there a lot tonight. Trojans on the offensive end a lot, but only 7 points thus far. As he's in formation, feeds it to Darius Johnson. He goes right down the middle, still on his feet, 30 down around the 26-yard line.
He had one man to beat, but Carlisle tackler, number 26?
Yeah, Nate Barnes there. Finally, if Barnes wasn't there, he would be in trouble, as Johnson making the moves there right down the middle. And it's a fresh set of downs for Chambersburg.
Okay, another first down. Okay, and they're playing well in this first half. Let's see if they can continue to move the ball.
So Hoover has motion there, left side. That's Warren Lee. He waits for the football. He gets it, and once again it goes to Darius Johnson on the right, and immediately he's tackled, and he's still on his feet, maybe a yard or so, and it'll be 2nd and long.
It looked like as if he was trying to go off tackle and cut back off guard there, and picked up good yardage on the play. About 5 yards there, Mike?
It looks like about 6 yards officially, so it'll be 2nd and 4, 7:18 to go here in the first half. Eric Harris, the quarterback for Carlisle, as he is brand new to the game, literally, did not play football at all last year, as Josh Honorad now, he's moving, waiting for the snap. Here it is, and a catch is by Honorad, by Hoover, and he's tackled hard around the 12-yard line. He got the catch, but then, man, he got tackled down to the ground like a WWE move.
However, he retained possession and picked up another first down for the Trojans.
So here we go again. Chambersburg, a chance to score. They were in this similar situation in the first quarter, but it was intercepted. 1st and 10, ball on the 11-yard line. Under center is Hoover. As he's waiting, got the long snap and feeds it to Warren Lee. He gets 3, still on his feet to around the 5-yard line. And Warren Lee has had the ball a lot thus far, at 42 yards of rushing in last week's contest, and I bet he has more than that here in the first half.
Yes, and we have to take our hats off to the Chambersburg coaching staff and the scouts. They had scouted this Carlisle team very well and must have seen a vulnerability to the run.
And it's the bottom line. I mean, Chambersburg, they've had a rough season. You got to get through these games and put on a strong show and get this program back on its traditional feet of being a good football team. 2nd and 5, 5:57 to go. Hoover wants to lead. He's going in to the 3 to the 2, and he's down around about the 1-yard line. Warren Lee having his way against that front line of the defense for Carlisle, and it's going to be very close. Let's see what they officially measure. It's going to be at least a yard to go.
However, it's another first down for the Trojans.
So the Trojans, of course, would love to score here. Only down by 6. Hurd had a 2-point conversion fail at the beginning of the second quarter.
8 seconds left on the play clock here. Let's see if Chambersburg gets the play off.
Trojans
4,
have 2 timeouts left
3,
here.
2.
And they're going to have to call a timeout. And we'll take a timeout to talk to you about F&M Trust. This broadcast is brought to you by F&M Trust. When you need extra funds this fall, pay less rates, get more grades. With the F&M Trust home equity line of credit, it's the ideal way to make larger purchases or consolidate monthly bills. For details on F&M Trust special introductory offer, visit a community office or fnmtrustonline.com. Equal housing lender. We've had so much going on here in the first half. I'm Mike Berger along with Gary Lang. We have John Irwin doing a great job in the camera work. If you're logging on to GameTimePA.com, we've had a guy for the Chambersburg Trojans that's had 2 interceptions. He's even lost the football on a kickoff return. You have Nate Barnes for Carlisle has 2 touchdowns. And you got Warren Lee had a 1-yard run to tie the game. And guess what? A timeout by Chambersburg, and they're only 1 yard to go for another touchdown. And my bet is Warren Lee's going to be part of that.
That was a good timeout rather than taking a 5-yard penalty.
So Hoover under center, and he's going to feed it to Warren Lee, and he marches in. Touchdown, Chambersburg. And just like that, the Chambersburg Trojans are right back in it, and they're only down by 1 point. Or make that 13-13. It's a tied ball game. And how that second point conversion hurts Carlisle now, as with the Trojans with the extra point could take the lead for the first time in tonight's contest.
Let's see if Nazir Taylor can put it through the uprights.
So Warren Lee runs in for 1 yard, ties the contest. And Taylor's kick is good right down the middle, and the Chambersburg Trojans have the lead. And with 5:22 here to go in the first half, Chambersburg 14, Carlisle 13. We'll be right back. You're listening to the F&M Trust Sports Network on MidPennBroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Have heating or air conditioning needs? Look no further than Lecron's Comfort Solutions. We service all brands: heat pumps, humidifiers, system replacements, gas, oil, electric heat, and ductless systems. Lecron's Comfort Solutions is your authorized terrain dealer. Call Corey at 717-597-3768 for a free estimate. We are licensed and insured. Lecron's Comfort Solutions. Local company, local name. Serving Greencastle and all of Franklin County with professional service and installation.
Chalk Talk. We talk high school football every Thursday night at 7:30 on MidPennBroadcasting.com.
Chambersburg Trojans, after that touchdown, kicks the football as Carlisle, they're still on their feet and tackled around the 33-yard line. And I love to say this, Chambersburg Trojans are leading in this contest as a little scrum here as Carlisle is frustrated with Chambersburg. And guess what, Gary? More flags are being thrown.
Probably be offsetting penalties.
So you had Carter Edmondson and Warren Lee right there when the quarterback, Caden Hoover, fed the football, and it was actually Carter Edmondson with the 1-yard drive inside. So it's been a combination of Edmondson and Lee. It should be offsetting penalties, I would think.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on both sides here.
So the correction is Edmondson with the touchdown. I want to make sure he gets credit, as now it is 14-13 Chambersburg. Don't say that too much. Chambersburg is winning this football game. They had their way against Mifflin County 2 weeks back during homecoming. They had that tough loss last week against CD East. And tonight, we're doing a great job. This has been a great football game. You couldn't ask for anything. You even had a herd official. I mean, what else do you want in a football game? So,
Good crowd. The crowd is very lively right now on the Chambersburg side.
So Eric Harris knows that he got to get some points on the board. They're down. He tried to feed it to somebody and keeps it himself. He's at the 40, still on his feet, 45-50. Now in Trojan territory and finally tackled by 21, Josh Honorat, around the 46-yard line. So good job by Harris. He didn't see anybody. He blotched the handoff, decided to take it himself and got the first down.
25 yards on the play. And he was a fast quarterback, too. He's got some speed to him.
As Harris gets the long snap, and now he feeds it right down the middle, and the Trojan defense is waiting maybe a yard or so. And now another flag, and I think there's a lot of yapping there in the middle. And the officials aren't going to they're not going to deal with it. And I can see the referee, he's holding his hand, and he's saying, stop talking. It's going to cost you a penalty, and that's what happened. And the Trojan coaching staff, they got to tell their team to calm down. We got the lead, and now we're going to have a 15-yarder for no business at all.
They had them stopped on first down, and here 15 yards moves it inside the Chambersburg 30.
And for the Chambersburg Trojans, they better hope and pray they don't give up a score here. They're going to hear it at halftime. I mean, that was a huge penalty. So let's set the table. 1st and 10, ball on the 28-yard line. As Eric Harris, he wants to spread the offense, and he wants to go long. And his intended receiver is looking for the football. He catches it, and he is in for the score. That is Nate Barnes, and Nate Barnes now has 3 touchdowns at the 4:43 mark. And Carlisle now takes over the lead, is now 19-14.
That lofted over the Chambersburg defender there. Nice pass.
It was a beautiful pass. 3rd touchdown. The hat trick in another sport. And Carlisle seems to, how long the Chambersburg had the lead? 5 minutes maybe? So now they're going to try to go a 2-point conversion, and it goes through everyone on the Herd side. Looks like it's intended for Zion Patterson.
Another unusual formation by Carlisle, and they try to pass, but pass failed. So with 4:43 left in the first half, Carlisle is leading Chambersburg 19-14.
And while we wait for the kickoff here for Chambersburg to get the football, I'd like to remind you that this broadcast is brought to you by Anthem Insurance, your local area insurance agent serving Greencastle, Waynesboro, Chambersburg, Mercersburg, and surrounding areas. Chambersburg Trojans down 19-14, and it all was the help of a penalty, a 15-yarder by the Chambersburg Trojans. A little too much extracurricular. And that cost him there, as the next play was a touchdown in the end zone. Eric Harris.
Nice touch he had on that pass.
Yeah, definitely a good aim. He's thrown over 70% throughout the season, and it showed just there. So now the Trojans, they got one timeout left. They got 4:43 to play with here in the second quarter. They want to get something going here.
They almost broke the last kick for a touchdown. About a 25-yard return by Chambersburg.
So the Chambersburg Trojans will have Darius Johnson in the back, waiting for the kick here by Khalib Richwine. Here's the whistle, and here's the kick of the little bouncer. Let's see if the Trojans can grab it, and yes, they do. As Khalib Thompson has it, and he's tackled immediately around the 35-yard line.
Good field position for Chambersburg. 4:36 left in the first half.
Trojans actually had a 9-game winning streak against Carlisle, 1999 through 2007. And Trojans had some good football teams during that stretch run. And now Trojans, having a down year, but still you got that history between the two squads. As we mentioned, they're having a commemorative sticker being displayed on both the helmets. So it's a great job by both athletic directors to remember this 100th meeting between the teams, as Trojans have the ball, and they give it to Johnson. He gets a yard or so. And with 4:30 to go and counting.
Nice tackle by Barnes on the play. He cut the legs out from underneath the Trojan runner.
Yeah, 2-yard gain there by Johnson. Trojans trying to avoid a start of a losing streak here, losing the CD East last Friday night here at Chambersburg. This is the last home game for the Trojans as Hoover in shotgun position. He has a couple receivers on the right side, and he wants to feed it to Johnson. He goes around a couple tackles and maybe a couple yard gain, and it'll be that famous third down conversion. What are you going to do? As the Trojans, this is big. They got to convert this.
Barnes again on the tackle there on the right side of the Trojan offensive formation there. Let's see if they're going to run it again or pass. The pass game has not been too fortuitous for Chambersburg tonight. They've had a fairly good running game, though.
Yeah, the Trojans, good running, good defense, but too many penalties. 3rd and 6, 3:24 to go for the halftime. As Hoover looks like a little confused there. Now there's some whistles, and the Trojans are going to have to eat up their last time out. And with that, we'll take a timeout. This is the F&M Trust Sports Network on MidPennBroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Have heating or air conditioning needs? Look no further than Lecron's Comfort Solutions. We service all brands: heat pumps, humidifiers, system replacements, gas, oil, electric heat, and ductless systems. Lecron's Comfort Solutions is your authorized terrain dealer. Call Corey at 717-597-3768 for a free estimate. We are licensed and insured. Lecron's Comfort Solutions. Local company, local name. Serving Greencastle and all of Franklin County with professional service and installation.
Chalk Talk. We talk high school football every Thursday night at 7:30 on MidPennBroadcasting.com.
Good football game here at Trojan Stadium. Trojans down 19-14, but they do have the ball with 3:15 to go here in the first half. After this timeout by Chambersburg, they're looking to get this first down, and the intended receiver over his head. And it was for 81 Spencer Seaman. And with that, Trojans will have to punt.
Hoover had to make a quick decision there. He's being rushed by the right side of the Carlisle line there, and just did not have a chance to get set and throw an accurate pass in that.
We'll have the halftime report for you, try to go over some scores for you, what we can find out, talk a little bit of national sports, and get you ready for the second half as the Trojans will be punting the football. Taylor, a nice short one. Let's see if it bounces the Trojans' way. It lands around the 38-yard line.
23-yard kick for Taylor in that one.
And the way that Harris throws, Gary, I mean, he can throw plenty of time with 3 minutes to go. In fact, they have all 3 timeouts.
And their first drive, that was less than 3 minutes. It was 2 minutes 45 seconds, and it was even hindered by some penalties.
Yeah, and that's definitely a key they're going to have to work on in the second half, eliminate the penalties, because with the penalty, it helped Carlisle get the lead here. Ball on the 38-yard line, 19-14, Carlisle leads. Zarek Harris, he feeds the football, and our lateral, now this time to Gavin Barnes, and maybe a yard or so. A lot of trickery there, Gary. You want to explain that play there by Carlisle, as it didn't do much.
Was that a double reverse, Mike?
Looks so. Didn't really fool the Trojans. They were ready for it. Good, tight defense.
And stopped it for no gain or maybe a short gain of 1 or 2 there.
Nate Barnes with the offense for Carlisle, 3 touchdowns. Warren Lee, Carter Edmondson for the Trojan touchdowns. And as a quarterback, he goes hard, and it's caught by 26 Nate Barnes. He gets tackled, but able to stay on his feet and able to gain a couple more yards, and that'll be close to a first down.
He was hit hard, but bounced away from the would-be tackler. Brings us up 3rd down for the Thundering Herd.
Looks like less than 5, 4 officially for the first down attempt here. 2:30 to go. Harris talking to his offense. Once the football gets it, he takes it himself. He goes around a couple defenders on his feet, still 50, back behind, couple steps back. Now still 40, 35, knocked out of bounds around the 33-yard line. And we saw that play before, Gary. That helped him get his crew to a score. And that'll be a fresh set of downs for the Thundering Herd.
Wiggling, weaving, gain of 19 on the play.
Bird marching down the field. And now a handoff to 32. Tyler Green, he's finding a hole there on the right side. And they're close for another first down.
He stays in bounds as the clock keeps ticking away. Less than 2 minutes left in the first half.
It's ticking away, but they look calm and composed out there. They don't look like they're really hurrying. They know what they want to do, as now you got two receivers on one side, one on the other, and again it goes to the man, Tyler Green. He goes through the Trojan defense, and just like that, it stops the clock. First down, Carlisle. And for the Chambersburg Trojans, they're just hoping they can stop this. They're down by 5. So now the clock resumes as the chain crews get set. Another handoff to Tyler Green.
They're running up the middle here on the Chambersburg defense.
8 touchdowns on the ground this year, 384 yards of total offense for the 660-pounder Tyler Green. The offense is spread now again, and now they throw to number 26, Nate Barnes. He's still on his feet, and he goes in for the score, but there is a touchdown. A flag. There's a touchdown and a flag. Let's see what happens here. If it's on Chambersburg, they'll definitely decline and want to score. But it looks like it's
holding,
the old famous hold play, so
that nullifies a 17-yard pass and run.
So a quick pass by Harris to Barnes, and he was able to go around the Trojans with ease. He was able to get in the end zone, but another penalty. And let's see if the Trojans can take advantage of this. It's now 2nd and 7. Carlisle, 1:05 to go here, first half. Trojans tighten up that defense on the line, and he fakes the feed. Now he does feed it to 21, Rajan Procopio, and he's still on his feet, 10-5. He's finally knocked out of bounds by the Trojans. And Procopio, the 5'3", 155-pounder, looks like the Trojans are kind of fooled by that.
They're probably expecting a pass.
So it's going to be first and goal.
Ball on the 6-yard line.
For the Herd. Trojans are hoping for a stop here. Barnes takes a couple steps back, throws hard, and it's out of the reach of his intended receiver, Nate Barnes. Man, Barnes, he has to be exhausted after this half. It's been all him.
And who was covering? Number 3, Austin Kopp.
Yeah, he's done a great job. I mean, he can offset that the kickoff return. He fumbled the football. He has 2 interceptions after that. Big plays, 2nd and 6, ball on the 6-yard line. And here's Harris. He's going to give it to Procopio, and he goes in for the score. We had to wait for the officials, and he goes in. He gets what he needed, and just like that, Carlisle extends the lead. It's now 25-14.
48 seconds left in the first half.
And that's key. We were talking about it. Carlisle has 3 minutes plus before the half. Can they score in the way Barnes, he can really throw that football? The answer is yes.
And Carlisle going for 2 again.
As they want to get some more points on the scoreboard. And Harris, he's looking for somebody in the end zone. It's caught. And it's caught by number 3, Gavin Barnes. So add 2 to the score. It's now Carlisle 27, Chambersburg 14. We got a couple more seconds left to go in the first half. You never know what can happen the way this game's going on. This is the F&M Trust Sports Network on MidPennBroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Everything's falling this season, including F&M Trust home equity rates. Use home equity funds for big purchases or to pay off high-interest bills. Apply today and rake in even more savings with F&M Trust special introductory offer. Visit fmtrustonline.com. Equal housing lender.
The Chambersburg Trojans play here. This is MidPennBroadcasting.com.
Back here at Trojan Stadium, it's senior night, and the Trojans got their work cut out. 27-14, Carlisle leads now after that Procopio run into the end zone. We didn't say his name at all until the last two plays, and he scores a touchdown as Carlisle will be kicking off here with 48 seconds to go. It's a little bouncer. Let's see if the Trojans can hand on to the football. They do as they get the ball around the 35-yard line, and Khalif Thompson's immediately tackled. So, Gary, what's your strategy here for the Chambersburg Trojans with no timeouts and 43 seconds to go until halftime?
Let's keep Carlisle off the field, and let's see if we can break one up the middle here.
You're exactly right. 6-yard run there by Procopio to extend the lead. As there might be more flags and actual scoring. Yes, it's 27-14, but, man, you won't believe how many flags.
Those penalties certainly have helped Carlisle in their quest tonight.
So the Trojans have the ball on their own 37-yard line as the quarterback, Caden Hoover, he wants to throw. He throws a risky one, but it is caught by 84, Sam Blevins. And I said risky. There was two defenders looking at that football, and Trojans are in that territory where an interception could run back for 6. 28 seconds and counting. The Trojans seem like they're taking their time here. Maybe they're going to be conservative and not take any chances. They got to at least go one more play. Hoover drops back. He wants to throw again. It is caught by Darius Johnson. Unfortunately, he'll stop the clock for a short period of time, but there is no timeouts.
Chambersburg rushes to the line here.
Darius Johnson's had a lot of catches here, and there's some movement, and we're on the Carlisle coaching box, and they're yelling you can't do that, and you're right. You can't be moving before Hoover gets the football.
Was there motion, or is he not allowed to spike the ball in the...
Yeah, there's a lot of things are happening wrong there. No spiking, no moving, and it's going to go back 5. I mean, for the Trojans, yes, it did stop the clock. 12 seconds to go here till halftime. It's been a long first half. It's 10 after 8. And the officials, they're going to have to take a break. They lost the line judge with an injured official there in the first quarter. So here we go. 12 seconds to go, first half. Hoover way back there waiting for the snap. Gets it. He wants to throw long. He throws it to not sure who. It goes over the head of two Carlisle Thundering Herd. It looks like number 3, Austin Kopp, was the intended receiver. But, man, that football was about 15 yards away from him.
It sailed. It was about 45, 50 yards in the air.
So now it'll be 3rd and 18. It does stop the clock with 7 seconds to go here till halftime. As the Trojans, 84, Sam Blevins rushes for the center position, waits, now gives the football to Hoover. He drops back, he's trying to find somebody, but the Herd are rushing onto him, and the throw is no good. Bounces in front of the defense of Carlisle. And with 1 second to go, 1.8 to be exact.
Still 4th down.
Still 4th down.
You can't take a knee because Carlisle would get the ball at midfield.
So Trojans will try one last play. Basically have to throw a bomb in the air. With 50 yards to go for a score. Sean Vessa on the far right. Motion by Darius Johnson. There is a flag again. And let's see what this is on. Chambersburg.
Now there's 0.2 of a second left in the first half.
Wow. It's one of those where you just keep the flag in your pocket and run to the locker room. Now it's 4 and 23. Ball on the 45-yard line. 55 yards for his attempted score for the Trojans. As most likely they'll be running the locker room down 27-14. So let's try this again.
Trips to the right.
You got Austin Kopp, Sam Blevins, part of the trips, and decide to give it to Darius Johnson. And he's still on his feet. 50 now to the 40, 35, 30. Eventually he's going to be knocked down. That will end the half. Trojans are down 27-14, and we'll talk all about it and so much more. It will be the halftime show. And we'd like to remind you, this is the F&M Trust Sports Network on MidPennBroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
season, including F&M Trust home equity rates. Use home equity funds for big purchases or to pay off high-interest bills. Apply today and rake in even more savings with F&M Trust special introductory offer. Visit fmtrustonline.com. Equal housing lender.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Had an auto accident? It's common to wonder how things could have turned out differently, if only.
No regrets.
If only you had Erie Insurance. With Erie, instead of regrets, you can focus on putting your mishap behind you. With an Erie rate lock auto policy, your rate won't take a hit, no matter what. It stays put until you change a car, driver, or address. People who treat you fairly, legendary service, great rates. That's what it means to have seriously good insurance for your auto, home, or business. Erie Insurance. See for yourself why Erie received the J.D. Power Award for highest in customer satisfaction with the auto insurance purchase experience 3 years in a row.
Your Erie agent in Greencastle and Waynesboro is Antrim Insurance Agency. Get a quote at antriminspa.com.
Erie rate lock is not available in all states. Limited to 3 years in Virginia. Other conditions and limitations at erieinsurance.com. For J.D. Power Award information, go to jdpower.com.
Erie Insurance.
Del Martin Incorporated, a full-service advertising agency, has been serving the tri-state area for 35 years. We specialize in screen printing and embroidered clothing. Del Martin Incorporated supplies a full range of brand-name uniforms for athletic, work, and medical applications, and a full line of advertising essentials. We have an in-house artist ready to put your ideas to work for you. T-shirts for schools, clubs, churches, and events. Del Martin Incorporated, 21 Sarah Susan Lane, Greencastle. Phone 717-597-5751 or online at delprint.com.
There's nothing like being at the game. The excitement, the fun, the food, and all the waste. Whether it's popcorn boxes, hot dog wrappers, or this soda cup. Big games generate tons of waste. That's why Waste Management is helping stadiums and businesses reduce waste altogether through recycling and organic composting. To learn more, talk to your local waste management representative or visit thinkgreen.com.
Chalk Talk. We talk high school football every Thursday night at 7:30 on midpennbroadcasting.com.
Everything's falling this season, including F&M Trust home equity rates. Use home equity funds for big purchases or to pay off high-interest bills. Apply today and rake in even more savings with F&M Trust special introductory offer. Visit fmtrustonline.com. Equal housing lender.
Have heating or air conditioning needs? Look no further than Lecron's Comfort Solutions. We service all brands: heat pumps, humidifiers, system replacements, gas, oil, electric heat, and ductless systems. Lecron's Comfort Solutions is your authorized terrain dealer. Call Corey at 717-597-3768 for a free estimate. We are licensed and insured. Lecron's Comfort Solutions. Local company, local name. Serving Greencastle and all of Franklin County with professional service and installation.
Del Martin Incorporated, a full-service advertising agency, has been serving the tri-state area for 35 years. We specialize in screen printing and embroidered clothing. Del Martin Incorporated supplies a full range of brand-name uniforms for athletic, work, and medical applications, and a full line of advertising essentials. We have an in-house artist ready to put your ideas to work for you. T-shirts for schools, clubs, churches, and events. Del Martin Incorporated, 21 Sarah Susan Lane, Greencastle. Phone 717-597-5751 or online at delprint.com.
When you're ready to break away from the routine and step into a hassle-free world of fun and adventure, Klein Tours is the partner you need to make fantasy a reality. For more than 20 years, Klein Tours Incorporated has taken care of all the details for people traveling from the four-state region of South Central Pennsylvania, Western Maryland, the Eastern Panhandle of West Virginia, and Winchester, Virginia area. Whether you're looking for a 1- or 2-day tour to the bright lights of New York City or the fun and excitement of Atlantic City, we've got you covered. And we offer special bonus packages so you can get more for your hard-earned dollar. Klein Tours is not only your source for major sports events and tickets to Broadway shows, we also offer multi-day air trips to destinations like Las Vegas and New Orleans. Subscribe to our newsletter for travel updates, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter. Our online travel center features real-time availability and purchasing is easy. Tours can also be reserved by phone at 717-597-5997.
This is a production of MidPennBroadcasting.com, where over 70 local sporting events a year stream live to your PC, laptop, phone, and tablet. MidPennBroadcasting.com.
Tonight's halftime show brought to you by Anthem Insurance, your local area insurance agent, serving Greencastle, Waynesboro, Chambersburg, Mercersburg, and surrounding areas. Anthem Insurance, 169 South Antrim Way, Greencastle, and 1685 East Main Street in Waynesboro. Mike Berger along with Gary Lang, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It's halftime. It's 27-14. Carlisle leading the way here as the Chambersburg Trojans actually had the lead. Can you believe it? They actually had the lead. Yes, it only lasted a few moments, but the Chambersburg Trojans did keep it competitive, Gary, until some penalties started to hurt them, and Carlisle's now starting to pull away just a little bit.
Yeah, well, penalties have hurt them most of the game here. Big penalties, too, 15-yarders. 6 touchdowns scored already in this action-packed first half here, but unfortunately for Chambersburg, Carlisle has scored 4 of the 6 touchdowns, and who's that main man for Carlisle tonight, Mike?
Yeah, it'll be Mr. Nate Barnes, 3 touchdowns. Chambersburg Trojans faced an offense that averages 34 points a game, and for the first series for this game, Carlisle had 3 penalties against them and still was able to score. So right away, not a good sign. But Chambersburg did coming back. They had the ball for a while. The 303 mark, Warren Lee, able to run it into the end zone, made it 7-6. Nazir Taylor, he's always money, made it 7-7, and it was a tied ball game until Mr. Barnes in the second quarter scoring 2 more times, and just a lot of action there in the first half. We had a couple interceptions, a couple loose fumbles, plenty of penalties, as we already mentioned, and even an injured official. So just a lot of stuff going on here in Chambersburg.
Barnes had 8 touchdown catches coming into the game and has added 3. So he's one of the big receivers here in central Pennsylvania.
So when we come back, we'll go over, hopefully get some scores for you. I'll try to do some research here during the commercial break. We got the Little Brown Jug game going on tonight. And we have a good game, Greencastle and Northern in Greencastle. So we'll try to get those scores for you. And we'll talk a little national sports as well. You got a big game in the American League, Kansas City and Toronto. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about, and we'll talk about that right after these messages. This is the F&M Trust Sports Network on MidPennBroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Everything's falling this season, including F&M Trust home equity rates. Use home equity funds for big purchases or to pay off high-interest bills. Apply today and rake in even more savings with F&M Trust special introductory offer. Visit fmtrustonline.com. Equal housing lender.
Have heating or air conditioning needs? Look no further than Lecron's Comfort Solutions. We service all brands: heat pumps, humidifiers, system replacements, gas, oil, electric heat, and ductless systems. Lecron's Comfort Solutions is your authorized terrain dealer. Call Corey at 717-597-3768 for a free estimate. We are licensed and insured. Lecron's Comfort Solutions. Local company, local name. Serving Greencastle and all of Franklin County with professional service and installation.
Del Martin Incorporated, a full-service advertising agency, has been serving the tri-state area for 35 years. We specialize in screen printing and embroidered clothing. Del Martin Incorporated supplies a full range of brand-name uniforms for athletic, work, and medical applications, and a full line of advertising essentials. We have an in-house artist ready to put your ideas to work for you. T-shirts for schools, clubs, churches, and events. Del Martin Incorporated, 21 Sarah Susan Lane, Greencastle. Phone 717-597-5751 or online at delprint.com.
When you're ready to break away from the routine and step into a hassle-free world of fun and adventure, Klein Tours is the partner you need to make fantasy a reality. For more than 20 years, Klein Tours Incorporated has taken care of all the the details for people traveling from the four-state region of South Central Pennsylvania, Western Maryland, the Eastern Panhandle of West Virginia, and Winchester, Virginia area. Whether you're looking for a 1- or 2-day tour to the bright lights of New York City or the fun and excitement of Atlantic City, we've got you covered. And we offer special bonus packages so you can get more for your hard-earned dollar. Klein Tours is not only your source for major sports events and tickets to Broadway shows, we also offer multi-day air trips to destinations like Las Vegas and New Orleans. Subscribe to our newsletter for travel updates, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter. Our online travel center features real-time availability and purchasing is easy. Tours can also be reserved by phone at 717-597-5997.
This is a production of MidPennBroadcasting.com, where over 70 local sporting events a year stream live to your PC, laptop, phone, and tablet. MidPennBroadcasting.com.
It's the halftime report here at Chambersburg High School. Trojans down 27-14 in an action-packed first half there. A lot of games going on in Week 8. Got Big Spring at Shippensburg. Shippensburg's leading 27-6 at last check at halftime in a Little Brown jug game. Bowling Springs at Camp Hill tonight. Cedar Cliff at Susquehanna Township. Got City East, who was in Chambersburg last Friday. They're taking on State College. Cumberland Valley, Central Dauphin. Man, if you had to pay for a game to go see, that would be the game I'd pick. East Pennsboro at Bishop McDevitt. Harrisburg at Mifflin County. Mifflin County, the only victory thus far for Chambersburg a couple weeks back. And you have Northern York at Greencastle. Greencastle down 14-7 at halftime, as that's just getting underway in the second half. Waynesboro at James Buchanan. And you got West Perry, Milton Hershey. And tomorrow you got Palmyra at Middletown. So getting down to the wire. You only got a couple more games left, and you start figuring out about the playoff, of what area in the playoffs you're going to be. You're going to get a home game. You're going to have to travel. It's something that Chambersburg wishes they were in, but for the Trojans, they got to think about the positives and hoping they be in a situation where they can figure out that next year.
Yeah, they remaining this year for Chambersburg. 2 tough games, Mike.
Yeah, they got a Saturday afternoon contest at Harrisburg, and then Gary Lang and I will have the Cumberland Valley game at Cumberland Valley, and that's the program where it is all about football. I mean, it all starts with the young kids, works its way up, and every year they have a great team, and I'm excited personally because they have usually a Chick-fil-A stand there, and they got the best sandwiches around. So I'm excited, praying that the weather's not too cold, because Gary reminded me here during the game that when we did the game a couple years ago, it's not exactly stellar 5-star facilities for the visiting broadcasters. We were kind of out in the open there, so I'll have to dress appropriately.
Now the temperature's been dropping a little bit here at Trojan Stadium. I see a lot of hot chocolate in the stands tonight. Must be down to about 52 degrees right now, but still great football weather.
Yeah, you couldn't ask for a better night for a late October game. Speaking of late October, you know what that means. It means playoff time for Major League Baseball. Ben Zobrist has hit a home run, and the Royals are leading 1-0. Game 6 in Kansas City, as the Mets are waiting who they'll be playing Tuesday nights in the Fall Classic. The All-Star game determines the home advantage in the American League One. So Game 1 will be either in Toronto or at Kansas City. And checking the ratings as far as TV ratings, always interesting to see how it is nationally. It's doing great. I mean, you got big market teams, Kansas City exception but a lot of interest. You got the Cubs, who I mean, it's a shame they could have at least won one of those games, and then the Mets just coming out of nowhere. I mean, back in July they were really the laughing stock as far as not willing to spend money. Oh, let's sign this Cespedes. Maybe we'll do something with them. And
yeah, they traded for him, got him before the trade deadline, and he has had a great run. About 58 games for the Mets, and I believe he had 17 or 18 home runs in that 58 games. So.
Yeah, just unreal season. And you listen to the New York radio stations, they're talking about, what are we going to do? We're going to sign them. And, we usually don't sign big guys. And It's funny, the people that are hosting the show, they're like, what are you guys doing? We haven't been to the World Series since 2000. You're already thinking about next year. Let's enjoy this. There's some players, they never get to experience any of the World Series, such as my idol when I was a kid, Don Mattingly, who mutually agreed to separate ways with the Dodgers yesterday. I mean, you just never know.
Do you think he'll be back managing again soon, Mike?
I definitely think he will. You got the Nationals having open spots. You got the Miami Marlins. I think he enjoys that. I really do. Dodgers have a new regime, and he was one of the last remaining folks from the old when the new ownership. And for the Dodgers, they have high expectations. They're getting to the playoffs, but they're not doing anything with it, and that's something that those fan bases not want. I mean, they want to win. Especially, Vince Scully's going to do another year. You got 1-1 for him at least. So
I always like hearing Vince Scully. He's just got a terrific voice and a terrific call of the game. Interesting stories, and he's been there, about 65 years or so?
It's been a long, long time, and you're right. He is just awesome to listen to. So we'll get you ready for the second half action. Trojans, they got some work to do. They're down 27-14 against the Carlisle Thundering Herd. And we'll be right back after these messages. This is the F&M Trust Sports Network on MidPennBroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Had an auto accident? It's common to wonder how things could have turned out differently, if only.
No regrets.
If only you had Erie Insurance. With Erie, instead of regrets, you can focus on putting your mishap behind you. With an Erie rate lock auto policy, your rate won't take a hit, no matter what. It stays put until you change a car, driver, or address. People who treat you fairly, legendary service, great rates. That's what it means to have seriously good insurance for your auto, home, or business. Erie Insurance. See for yourself why Erie received the J.D. Power Award for highest in customer satisfaction with the auto insurance purchase experience 3 years in a row.
Your Erie agent in Greencastle and Waynesboro is Antrim Insurance Agency. Get a quote at AntrimInspa.com.
Erie rate lock is not available in all states. Limited to 3 years in Virginia. Other conditions and limitations at ErieInsurance.com. For J.D. Power Award information, go to JDPower.com.
Erie Insurance.
Everything's falling this season, including F&M Trust home equity rates. With the home equity line of credit from F&M Trust, you can pay less rate and add more great to your life. Get extra funds to pay off high-interest bills, tackle home remodeling projects, or make other big purchases. Apply today, and you'll rake in even more savings with F&M Trust special introductory rate. For details, connect with any local branch or visit fmtrustonline.com. Equal housing lender.
Have heating or air conditioning needs? Look no further than Lecron's Comfort Solutions. We service all brands: heat pumps, humidifiers, system replacements, gas, oil, electric heat, and ductless systems. Lecron's Comfort Solutions is your authorized Terrain dealer. Call Corey at 717-597-3768 for a free estimate. We are licensed and insured. Lecron's Comfort Solutions. Local company, local name. Serving Greencastle and all of Franklin County with professional service and installation.
Chalk Talk, the only program dedicated exclusively to Franklin County High School football, is on MidPennBroadcasting.com. Join Gary Klein and Mike Montadoro every Thursday night at 7:30, streaming live from John Allison Public House, 401 East Baltimore Street in Greencastle. We preview each week's upcoming games and talk with the players, coaches, and reporters. You're invited to join the conversation. Email us your questions and comments during the show. Chalk Talk on MidPennBroadcasting.com. You're listening to Trojans Football with Gary Klein and Mike Berger on MidPennBroadcasting.com.
Just playing the hits for you, Gary. Hit after hit. It's the halftime report here at Trojans Stadium, Chambersburg area senior high school, as the Chambersburg Trojans are down 27-14. Nate Barnes, 6 catches, 78 yards, 3 touchdowns for the Thundering Herd. Darius Johnson for the Chambersburg Trojans, 12 carries for 85 yards. And some good notes for the Trojans, but unfortunately, Gary, they're still down 27-14.
They still have work to do. They were hanging in there and tough. They were leading 13-7 midway through the second quarter, and Carlisle scored 3 unanswered touchdowns there to take a 27-14 lead.
And we mentioned this is the 100th meeting between the Herd and the Trojans, not the 100th anniversary. There was a break there where they did not play, and then they had a couple years where they played a couple games, like a home and away type of scenario throughout this 100th meetings. And it's just really nice what they did. They have a commemorative sticker on their helmets, which we're kind of so far up I can't see it, but
that's what I was just looking for. I don't see it on the Carlisle helmets in front of us.
Yeah, they're supposed to be on both helmets, but just a great way to honor a good tradition. And Chambersburg, they've done some good things definitely during the football season as far as outside the game. For example, last week they had the Military Night Celebration, which they honor each one of the armed forces, and it was really special. A lot of the place was packed. At first there was hardly anybody here, and by the time we got the second quarter, the place was jammed. They all wanted to see, of course, support the Trojans, but also honor our men and women for the service. They've done this now, I think, 4 or 5 years, and it's just been a great job by Chambersburg to do those type of things to really recognize the community. And for the Trojans, they want to have a good football team. You have these great things. You want to get the fans out, not just to do wonderful things such as what I just described, but also have a good something to look for on the field.
It was another fun night for the band, too. They had their alumni back, and band members all over the field, young and old, and they had a good time, and I know the alumni band members enjoy that every year, too.
And as the halftime festivities are over, it's time for the second half. It was a long first half. Looking over my watch, it's a little past 8:30. And now the Trojans will get the football here to start the second half. Carlisle started the game with a score after 3 penalties against them. And that's something.
And they still scored
and
quickly.
They still scored. You're exactly right. And plus, they scored quickly with only 3 minutes to go in the first half to kind of widen the gap here for the Chambersburg Trojans. So, with that, number 82, Khalib Richwine, waiting for the symbol by the referee. And once he does, he'll kick it off here as the Trojans need to get some points, and they need to do it now. And here's the kick. Gets a little squibber again, bounces around the 30, and it's misplaced but grabbed up by Khalib Thompson. And he's still on his feet and down around the 30-yard line. So you got to watch his little bouncers with the way the ground is. You know, it's getting colder, a little moisture on the ball, and that's what Carlisle's hoping. And luckily for the Trojans, they were able to get it.
Good recovery and fair run back there. The Chambersburg is in good field position here on their own 30. First and 10 with the 11:50 left in the third quarter.
So the Trojans, Caden Hoover, he had his work cut out, did a decent job there in the first half. Got help 2 good long drives with the help of Edmondson and Warren Lee for the points for the Trojans. As he waits for the snap, got the ball, and he's going to feed it to Darius Johnson, who had over 80 yards and rushing there in the first half, and he gets 3 or 4 to start the series for the Trojans.
Good ball handling on that play. I was misdirected by Hoover there, and he handed off, and positive yardage here for Chambersburg.
4-yard gain by Johnson, and the Trojans will have the ball on their own 34. A lot of Eric Harris passing there in the first half to help catalyze the offense for the Thundering Herd as shotgun, 2 receivers on the right side, and Hoover decides to hand it off, do a little lateral, and that was not a good idea by Chambersburg as Johnson looked like he was a little surprised.
It was a late lateral and was not much room for the trailing back to maneuver.
Right, you're exactly right. It looks like Johnson figured, you know what, he's going to take it himself. And instead, the Trojans had a loss of yards, 3 to be exact. They'll be 3rd and 9. So big play here. Another 3rd down conversion attempt.
Yeah, 3 and out have been a nemesis for Chambersburg this year.
Trojans did have a lot of first downs. Got to give him credit that in the first half. Get 14 points on the board. So Hoover has it. He wants to throw. And the catch is good. And that's going to be a first down or close to number 10, Sean Bessa. Bessa had a great leaping catch to help Trojans get those first 6 points. And he got a fresh set of downs for Chambersburg. Great job by Hoover. Talk about calm, collective, finding your open man, and a great catch by Bessa.
And the Trojan line, they held back the Carlisle defensive line that time, get Hoover enough time to throw the ball.
So Blevins wide left. Instead, there's a feed to Warren Lee, and he finds an open hole. He goes to the 40, to the 45, knocked out of bounds to the 46-yard line. And here comes the Chambersburg Trojans.
What's the word? Beat the herd.
There you go. And they would love to do that.
Trojans are marching.
Trojans with one lone win here in the 2015 campaign. Victory, deciding victory against Mifflin County.
Now, will it get any easier with the realignment next year, Mike?
It definitely will not if you're a Chambersburg Trojan fan. So here's the snap, and again goes to Darius Johnson. He goes around 3 defenders, still on his feet. He finds an open hole, 45-40, down around the 38-yard line. First down, Chambersburg.
About a 16-yard gain on that play. So nice run, patience on the run.
Yeah, Johnson, he's been doing a great job tonight rushing, even though I do see him limping a little bit. He's now on the sideline, and we talked about that, Gary. I noticed that in the loss against CD East, he was really banged up. In fact, he was doing sprints on the sideline to see if he can get back in the game. So we'll see how that'll affect him here as Warren Lee now has the football. He's still on his feet. He goes 30-25 down around the 23-yard line, and another first down by the Chambersburg Trojans. Warren Lee.
Pickup of 16 on the play. Didn't look like he was touched going through that line.
So Warren Lee, he's had a couple of those tonight, finding the hole as the defensive line for Carlisle. You look out there, if you're on GameTimePA.com, this kind of befuddled the way the Trojans are running with the football thus far with 8:35 to go here, third quarter. Trojans down 27-14. Here's Lee again, and now he can't get past the brick wall of Carlisle. You know, he's still on his feet, maybe get a yard or so of forward progress. And the Trojans will have a second and long opportunity. Shippensburg leading Big Spring. That's 34-6 going into the fourth quarter. So the
little brown jug.
Little brown jug. Looks like it's in the grasp of the Shippensburg Greyhounds. And that was a game, one of those coulda, shoulda, woulda week 2 for the Chambersburg Trojans as they lost at Shippensburg. And
that was an overtime game, wasn't it, Mike?
Actually, it was overtime loss here against Greencastle.
Oh, okay.
It's a close one against Shippensburg, and I got Trojans in a little bit of hole to start the season. A motion by the Trojans, number 81, that's Spencer Seaman, and Trojans decide to feed it to Warren Lee instead, and he maybe got a couple yards. It's going to be third down. You're knocking in the door. You're in red zone territory. You're down 27-14. You must score here.
And we're down one official, too, aren't we?
And you're down one official. So ball on the 15-yard line. Only 2 yards to gain for a first down. As Hoover goes out of the huddle, and he wants the football from the snap. He has it. It's a high one, but Lee has it. He's on his feet, has one defender to pass, and he's tackled around the 6-yard line. And that will be enough for a first down for the Chambersburg Trojans. It'll be first and goal. So good run by Lee.
Chambersburg running backs doing an outstanding job tonight. But, of course, it's that offensive line that opens up all those holes.
So the Trojans, it's going to be ball on the 8-yard line, first and goal. Hoover wants his running back, Lee. He gets it, and he gets stopped by number 71 by the Thundering Herd. That is Connor Hamilton, a 6'4" big fella, and Lee had nowhere to go.
High snap, and we got to watch out for that. We can't afford to fumble the ball down here in the red zone here, the football field.
Bad news if you're a Greencastle Greencastle fan. They're down 28-14 late in the third quarter against Northern York. Good old Northern Polar Bears. Ball now on the 7-yard line. 2nd and 7. 7 to go, and you got a touchdown. Lee again. They love it to Lee. And he's close to a touchdown. Does he have it? Yes, he does. Touchdown, Warren Lee, his second of the evening. And here you go. Trojans only down by 7. It's now 27-20.
Warren Lee busting through that line.
Warren Lee with a 7-yard rush. And Hoover just kept feeding to him. That was 4 straight plays going to Lee. And now with the extra point, let's see if it's good or not. It'll cut the lead to 6. And of course it is. Taylor's nothing but money. It's 21 now for the Chambersburg Trojans. They're only down by 6. This is a good one for you. Don't go away. This is the F&M Trust Sports Network on MidPennBroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Have heating or air conditioning needs? Look no further than Lecron's Comfort Solutions. We service all brands: heat pumps, humidifiers, system replacements, gas, oil, electric heat, and ductless systems. Lecron's Comfort Solutions is your authorized terrain dealer. Call Corey at 717-597-3768 for a free estimate. We are licensed and insured. Lecron's Comfort Solutions. Local company, local name. Serving Greencastle and all of Franklin County with professional service and installation.
Chalk Talk. We talk high school football every Thursday night at 7:30 on MidPennBroadcasting.com.
Mike Berger along with Gary Lang. That's the way we like it. Trojans only down 6 points as Carlisle does have the football, and they're still on his feet. Number 10, Deshaun Middleton at the 40, at the 30, now the 20, at the 10. He goes in, coasts in for a touchdown. And that's where I'm dancing after that tune with the Trojans only down by 6. You got Deshaun Middleton. He runs the distance for the touchdown. And with a blink of an eye, it's now, and I'm looking for a flag before I announce it. No flag. It's 33-21, Carlisle.
That ball was kicked to one at the short end from Carlisle, who lateraled it back to for about a 7-yard touchdown return, kickoff return.
And it was immediate. As soon as the break was over, Taylor with the kick, and Middleton off to the races. He just found a hole in the Trojans defense. They just looked tired chasing him. Wow.
And trick formation again.
So 11 plays, 70 yards. Warren Lee scores. And now you have the Carlisle Thundering Herd getting a touchdown off a kickoff return. And the 2-point conversion is good. They like more points. They've been doing this 2-point conversion stuff all night long.
Patterson on the PHC 2-point conversion there.
So a lot of stuff going on in the last 5 minutes. You had a nice drive by the Chambersburg Trojans.
It took up more than half of the third quarter.
Yes, it did. And guess what? That's the worst thing you could possibly do is give up those points on a kickoff. And Middleton, we talked about him a couple times throughout the game thus far, and he had the biggest play of him personally tonight. Going long with that drive all the way in. He got the football. He knew what to do with it. And Carlisle able to get a nice 2-point conversion to extend the lead back up by 14. A lot of points, Gary.
That quiets down the crowd quite a bit, doesn't it?
35-21. And we still got a quarter and a half to go.
Kickoff from the left hash mark here for Carlisle.
So Carlisle, Khalib Richwine. He has his kickoff team split both sides. He does another bouncer. It's a high one. It's handled by the Trojans' Khalib Thompson. And still on his feet. Almost another fumble. They're saying he's down.
Ball across the 40-yard line for Chambersburg. So they're in good field position. 5:32 left in the third quarter.
Deshaun Middleton returned that kick 70 yards. 70 yards for that score.
And Chambersburg down by 2 touchdowns again. So let's see if they can put points back up on the board.
So So we got done finishing our notes from that long drive for Chambersburg. You look up and Middleton's off to the races. So let's see if Hoover can bounce his team back. Down by 14, motion by Johnson. Hoover waits for the snap. He gets it. He feeds it to Taylor. Taylor finds a hole, goes to 50, down to the 45, and finally tackled. Good job by the Chambersburg Trojans, and a fresh set of downs.
15-yard run. Is he running over people, or is he running over people?
And for the Trojans, they have to be frustrated. It's hard for them to score. And tonight they got 21 points on the board, and they're still down by 14.
Well, Carlisle's been averaging 34.2 or 34.4. They've got their 35. Now we've just got to get what they give up, 37. So we need 16 more points, and Carlisle will be back to their average.
Hoover waiting for the long snap. This time, once again, Lee. He maybe gets a yard or two as he's tackled by a host of the herd. Number 26 there, Nate Barnes, who has 3 touchdowns tonight with the tackle. So it's basically over there in 41-6 now. Shippensburg over Big Spring. But this game a lot more interesting.
A lot of things have happened. A lot of unusual things. Big pass plays, kickoff return, interceptions.
Seaman on the right side, one of the receivers, and once again the lead. He maybe gets 2 or 3 yards away officially, and it's going to be a 3rd down for Chambersburg. And we got a player down for Carlisle, and while we'll see how he is, I'll give you a chance to tell you about Chalk Talk. Chalk Talk, the only program dedicated exclusively to Franklin County High School football. It's on midpennbroadcasting.com every Thursday night, 7:30 from the John Allison Public House, 104 East Baltimore Street in Greencastle. Actually, that's the new location, Antrim Way. They'll preview each week's upcoming games, talk with players, coaches, reporters, all kinds of special guests. Join us live every Thursday night on Mid-Penn Broadcasting, and if you haven't been there yet, it is nice. It's brand new, spanking new John Allison Public House. They had a smart marketing idea. Giants and Redskins were playing on a Thursday night, and people that run the place say, you know what, that'd be a great time to have a grand opening. Let's have it when there's a key football game where you have a local fan base. So they open up on Thursday, and they actually had the Chalk Talk on the night there at the new location, and it was packed.
Great crowd, great game, and gosh, great place to be. Nice location there. Nice facility, isn't it, Mike?
Definitely is, and for the Chambers,
good beverages,
all that good stuff. And see who's on the ground there by Carlisle. Looks like number 53. Looks like he's going to be okay. Justin Trollinger. So Trollinger, he's walking his own will, so that's good news. And
he's the second leading tackler for Carlisle. Had 41 tackles coming in tonight's game.
So let's set the stage for you. Chambersburg Trojans with the football. 3rd and 6, 4:08 to go here, 3rd quarter. Ball on the 40-yard line, and a very important 3rd down here for Chambersburg as they're down 35-21. Sean Middleton running 70 yards to increase this lead. Now spread offense, motion by Johnson. Hoover waits for the football. He wants to pass, and he's trying to find an intended receiver, 84, Sam Blevins, goes off his hands, and he knows he should have had that.
That would have been close to the 1st down there, about the 34-yard line of Carlisle.
And now it's going to be 4th down for the Trojans.
4th and 6. Are they going for it, or are they punting? Well, looks like Nazir Taylor back in the game.
Unless they have a trick up their sleeve, it looks, if you're watching on GameTimePA.com, they're going to punt the football as Gavin Barnes out there and around the 10-yard line. High snap. Taylor able to grab it. Let's see if he can get it up in enough time. He did. It actually turned out to be a great punt. That was very, very risky there as Taylor had to grab it high in the air.
Got the kickoff, 26-yard punt, but it pins Carlisle back on the 14-yard line.
Greencastle now losing 35-14. So That game getting out of reach for Greencastle. We'll have Week 9 action next week. Greencastle's at Waynesboro. Chambersburg plays Saturday at Harrisburg. We'll have all that play-by-play for you. Also another big game next week, James Buchanan. Where my notes are, but they have a big game as well we might be covering as well. So let's see what we got here. 1st and 10 for Carlisle. And as Chambersburg, like Gary, you said, they took up half the quarter with the football. Didn't have anything to really show for.
We have a timeout, Carlisle.
So Carlisle, not sure what they want to do with the football, so they'll take a timeout. We will as well. With 3:43 to go, Carlisle leads 35-21. This is the F&M Trust Sports Network on MidpenBroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Everything's falling this season, including F&M Trust home equity rates. Use home equity funds for big purchases or to pay off high-interest bills. Apply today and rake in even more savings with F&M Trust special introductory offer. Visit fmtrustonline.com. Equal housing lender.
The Chambersburg Trojans play here. This is MidpenBroadcasting.com.
Carlisle looking to score more here as they have the football, but they're deep in their own territory. Ball on the 13-yard line. As Eric Harris, he's looking at his coaching squad, now runs under center, talks to a couple of his receivers, doing the old Peyton Manning, taking forever. Now he's going to throw, and it's caught by John Christopher on the side there. He's at the 20, 25, still on his feet, knocked out of bounds by the Chambersburg Trojans around the 34-yard line.
Shifty receiver broke that first tackle by attempt by Kopp there and picked up a first down on the play.
So a good first down by Carlisle. John Christopher, 6'1", 180 pounds. Gets the Carlisle Thunderbird a fresh set of downs. Eric Harris. A lot of yards, a lot of offense to show during the first 8 games this year. And that pass is intended for Deshaun Middleton, and over his reach, it'll be second down.
That was a laser. Harris looked over the field, found a receiver, but just did not deliver the ball where it was supposed to be. 2nd and 10, Carlisle.
So Coach Scott Mitchell in his second game as head coach for the Chambersburg Trojans. First game loss, and tonight, right now they're just trying to get back into this game as once again, number 10, Deshaun Middleton, makes a nice move. Now he goes way back a couple steps to the 50, now to the 45. No call there. Looked like a block, but no, the Middleton's still on his feet now to the 30, to the 25. Finally knocked down around the 14-yard line, and a hard tackle by the herd to cause that hole. Looked like it was one of those, could be maybe a block in the back, but they didn't call it. And man, we'll see what number it is. They got the trainers around him. He was hit hard.
Yeah, it looks like there'll be a timeout on the play here.
So Deshaun Middleton, he goes to the right side of the football field, goes 20 yards, then goes 10 yards back in the middle of the field.
Picked up blocks.
Yeah, picked up some blocks. And then he goes to the left side and gets knocked out of bounds for a first down, ball on the 13-yard line. Middleton, who had that 70-yard kickoff return here in the third. But again, a huge tackle here by Carlisle. Still don't see the number. It's middle of the field. The trainers are surrounding the Trojan football player. So while they're attending the injured player, we'll take a few moments and a timeout as the Carlisle Thunderbird leads at 35-21. This is the F&M Trust Sports Network on MidpenBroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Everything's falling this season, including F&M Trust home equity rates. Use home equity funds for big purchases or to pay off high-interest bills. Apply today and rake in even more savings with F&M Trust special introductory offer. Visit fmtrustonline.com. Equal housing lender.
The Chambersburg Trojans play here. This is MidpenBroadcasting.com.
Looks like Clay Myers is okay for the Chambersburg Trojans. As Carlisle, they're knocking on the door once again. Ball on their Trojan 13-yard line. And a good defensive stop by the Trojans. They're saying it was down. The Trojans are still running. And now there's a flag. I'm not sure what the flag's about.
Could that be a delay of game?
It could be, but I think that was a little unnecessary. The coaching squad is going ballistic on the Chambersburg. I want to know why there's that quick penalty. It's more like a short temper. He's upset because the Trojans thought it was a fumble, and they kept running after the whistle was blown. Number 6, Leedy Bailey. And, man, that's going to be a huge penalty. First, it was a great stop by Chambersburg. The Carlisle Thundering Herd lost the football. And then the Trojans just kept running after the whistle was blown, and the referee wouldn't have nothing of it and added 15 yards to the play after the loss. So now it's going to be 1st and 10.
Half the distance to go. Ball's on what yard line there, Mike?
Ball is on the 6-yard line. It's Harris. He's looking end zone, and it's intended receiver unable to get the ball, and it'll
broken up
be
by the
3rd down.
Trojans there.
Looks like it was number 26, Nate Barnes, in the end zone. So, man, a lot of things you don't usually see in one game, Gary. You usually see it throughout a whole season. We've seen everything tonight.
We have, but great play by the Trojans. I've enjoyed the game tonight.
Ball on the 11-yard line, 3rd and 8, 2:39 to go, third quarter. As Eric Harris, number 4, he wants to find somebody in the end zone, and intended receiver wide left, Gavin Barnes, and guess what? There is a flag on the field.
Was that Blevins? No, Seaman. Seaman was trying to break up the play there.
See, the flag came from the line judge side of the field, and it's going to be a procedural penalty on the Carlisle Thundering Herd. So the Trojans get 5 back from that unsportsmanlike, I guess that you would call it.
Or are they turning it down, making a 4th down for Carlisle?
So smart move, yes it is. That's what I would do. Now it's 4th and 8. As now, let's see what Harris will do with the football. Offense spread, 3 receivers on the right side. Motion now. And Harris going strong to the end zone. The pass is incomplete for the intended receiver, John Christopher.
2 Trojans breaking up that play.
And the Trojans will have it with the turnover on downs. But they got a lot of work to do. They got 89 yards to go for a score.
That slant pass has worked for Carlisle earlier tonight, and Chambersburg broke it up.
Yeah, and they're quick, fast passes as well by Harris. I mean, again, it's hard to believe. Last year, he wasn't playing football at all, and he's shown here. He has the smarts. He knows what to do. He studies the playbook, spreads it out the wealth for the offense.
Now, what year is he? Is he a junior or senior?
Well, my official roster that I received by email does not have the year, so I'll have to find out.
Well, maybe he had played previously in junior high or as a sophomore.
So the Trojans, 1st and 10, ball on their own 11-yard line. 2:32 to go, third quarter. And the officials saying timeout Chambersburg, and we'll take a timeout. Carlisle up 35-21. Can the Trojans come back? This is the F&M Trust Sports Network on MidpenBroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Del Martin Incorporated, a full-service advertising agency, has been serving the tri-state area for 35 years. We specialize in screen printing and embroidered clothing. Del Martin Incorporated supplies a full range of brand-name uniforms for athletic, work, and medical applications, and a full line of advertising essentials. We have an in-house artist ready to put your ideas to work for you. T-shirts for schools, clubs, churches, and events. Del Martin Incorporated, 21 Sarah Susan Lane, Greencastle. Phone 717-597-5751 or online.
Back here live in Chambersburg, Hoover fumbles the football, but able to recover maybe a yard lost there, and it's going to be 2nd and at least 11 or 12.
Dangerous play there, but Chambersburg managed to retain possession.
So the Trojans down 35-21, 2:13 and counting here, third quarter. Mike Berger along with Gary Lang. Thank you so much for joining us on the F&M Trust Sports Network.
And hello to you in whichever state you may be. Washington State, state of Pennsylvania, or maybe Eric Jacobs is listening from Kobe, Japan tonight.
Yeah, you never know. As Trojans 2nd and 12. Hoover going back, shotgun, and he's trying to find Sam Blevins there in midfield, and the pass wide right, and it'll now be third down.
Crossing pattern not successful for the Trojans. Carlisle has had some success with theirs. So big third down here, 3rd and 12, minute 48 left in the third quarter.
Final now, Shippensburg 41, Big Spring 13. And we still got a whole quarter and a minute 48 to go here, as it's 9:03 now officially. 3rd and 12, Hoover waits for the football. He wants to throw, and it goes a short pass, and it's caught by 81. Spencer Seaman, he gets a couple yards, and that'll be close to a first down. We'll see officially, maybe a yard or so short. Seaman about 4 yards out, catches it. It's going to be fourth down, 4th and 1. Gary, you got to go for it.
Well, it's deep in your own territory, though.
Got to take some chances in life. Let's see. You're right. They're going to punt, but you're already down by 14. The way Eric Harris can throw the football and run down the field. With only 1 yard. Let's see what they do. They're going for the punt. Taylor has a good kick. Bounces at the 48 in Trojan territory. As Carlisle muffs it. Let's see if Chambers was able to get it.
There's 2 Trojans against 1 there, but I think Carlisle had the angle on the ball.
Yeah, Carlisle did get it lucky for them. Number 3, Gavin Barnes with the muff. But the Herd will have it. Nate Barnes, 3 touchdowns to Sean Middleton with a touchdown. Couple 2-point conversions successful. Equals a 14-point lead for the Carlisle Thundering Herd.
That last Carlisle touchdown, that kickoff return, gave them that cushion again. Chambersburg was right back in the ball game, but lost the momentum when Carlisle had a 7-yard kickoff return.
And the Trojans have one of the weirdest penalties you would ever know, running down the football after a fumble. So here's the Sean Middleton. He's dancing and prancing around the Trojans and finally falls down around the 49-yard line. As we got 1:18 left here, third quarter.
Quick screen pass to the right, and he's a shaker and a mover, but he did pick up 4 yards on the play, so 2nd and 6.
Trojans reset their defense. Harris, he wants to throw lateral and does.
Same play to the other side of the field.
Middleton still on his feet, and he's knocked out of bounds around the 43-yard line. And we'll see if that's good enough for a first down.
It seems they are moving the sticks.
Fresh set of downs for the Thundering Herd, as now they're having their way against the Chambersburg Trojan defense. Harris likes to mix it up. Trips on the right side. Now a quick pass to Middleton. Middleton goes around 1 defender, 2 defenders, spun around and down, tackled around the 38-yard line. Tackled by number 53 for the Chambersburg Trojans. That was Kelton Chasilick. Chasilick, we haven't said his name yet tonight, but
he had an outstanding game last week, didn't he?
Exactly right. He had 11 tackles in the loss last week against CD East. And hope for the Chambersburg Trojans for the future.
3 swing passes in a row to Millington.
Now Harris finds an open receiver, and it's caught by the Carlisle Thundering Head, number 2. He's at the 20, the 15-10, knocked out of bounds around the 3-yard line. And that was number 2. Zion Patterson. Patterson, man, he went from the left side, went diagonal to the right, and knocked out of bounds officially around the 6-yard line.
Now these Carlisle receivers, they cut back quite a bit. Pick up blocking and move on down the field.
20 seconds to go, third quarter. And Carlisle's going to try to run it in. Looks like they're a yard or so short. And that should be the last play of the third quarter, as Carlisle's looking for more here, as we'll get to the fourth. The Chambersburg Trojans, they're down by 14. And we'll be right back after these messages. It's Carlisle 35, Chambersburg 21. This is the F&M Trust Sports Network on MidPennBroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Had an auto accident? It's common to wonder how things could have turned out differently, if only.
No regrets.
If only you had Erie Insurance. With Erie, instead of regrets, you can focus on putting your mishap behind you. With an Erie Rate Lock auto policy, your rate won't take a hit, no matter what. It stays put until you change a car, driver, or address. People who treat you fairly, legendary service, great rates. That's what it means to have seriously good insurance for your auto, home, or business. Erie Insurance. See for yourself why Erie received the J.D. Power Award for highest in customer satisfaction with the auto insurance purchase experience 3 years in a row.
Your Erie agent in Greencastle and Waynesboro is Antrim Insurance Agency. Get a quote at antriminspa.com.
Erie Rate Lock is not available in all states. Limited to 3 years in Virginia. Other conditions and limitations at erieinsurance.com. For J.D. Power Award information, go to jdpower.com.
Erie Insurance. Live and local. This is MidPennBroadcasting.com.
Start of the fourth quarter. Harris wants to feed it inside for the score, and just like that he does. Number 32 for the Carlisle Thundering Herd, Tyler Green. And the Carlisle extends its lead. It's now 41-21. Carlisle likes to do that, Gary. They like to start the quarter with a score. Nothing wrong with that, I guess, if you're a Thundering Herd.
Yeah, that took 4 seconds.
So 4 seconds off the clock. And the score by Green. And this one is getting out of hand. Another missed snap, and they're going to try to run in for a two-point conversion. As he dives in, does he have it? Yes, he does. Gavin Barnes. And now everything going wrong for the Chambersburg Trojans. So Gavin Barnes, for a Halloween theme, he's trying to put the nail in the coffin here.
Yes. Well, he did make a great effort there to dive into the corner of the end zone and get those 2 points.
So Tyler Green. And we knew the Chambersburg Trojans were in trouble starting this fourth quarter. I mean, they had the ball on the 3-yard line for Carlisle Thundering Herd. Get off the break. Welcome everybody to the fourth quarter, and they score. As now it is 43-21 Carlisle. Mike Berger along with Gary Lang. Thank you so much for joining us as we have action here, a lot of action. I mean, if you want to see everything you can possibly think of, we have that for you tonight. An injured official. You have a penalty for, you thought it was a legitimate fumble. You start running downfield. The official whistles and then throws a flag as you didn't stop. That's one of the most bizarre things I've ever seen. You have a Austin Kopp who has a fumble off a return, and then he has 2 interceptions tonight. You have Nate Barnes who has 3 touchdowns. You have Deshaun Middleton right off a kickoff, goes 70 yards for a score. And just like that, Carlisle Thundering Herd scores with 4 seconds off the clock here in the fourth, and it's now 43-21.
See if we have another short kickoff.
Well, we'll see what Rich Wine does, and yes, it is another bouncer. Trojans able to get it. It's Sean Vessa. He's still on his feet. Grabs it around the 30-yard line and
up to midfield.
Up midfield to about the 48.
Young man running north and south. Knew what to do.
Chambersburg 1-6 coming in tonight's game on senior night. Also a pink out.
And band night, alumni band.
And band night. So a lot of stuff going on here in Chambersburg. Great weather. And a lot of scoring. 11:51 to go to the end of this contest. As now looks like Hunter Leedy, number 16, is the quarterback for Chambersburg. And there's a flag and a throw by Leedy, and almost caught there, a leap by Sam Blevins, but looks like it's going to be a procedural penalty on the Chambersburg Trojans.
I was looking at the Carlisle defensive line that time. They had 2 down linemen and 2 up linemen. I don't know if they've used that all night, but Chambersburg has been effective breaking through that line.
So new quarterback for Chambersburg, and the first play is a penalty. It's going to go back 5 yards. It'll be 1st and 15, ball on their own 45-yard line. So we have Greencastle. They were losing big. Shippensburg wins big. And this game is starting to be pulled away by the Thundering Herd. Spread offense. You have Austin Kopp far on the left side. Darius Johnson far on the right. As the quarterback 1600 lead, he's going long again to Sam Blevins. And Trojans want a little bit of interference. They did not get the call. And Seems like nothing is going the way for the Trojans, and actually there is a flag, but not where the action happened. It was
on the right side of the field.
On the right side, on the other end. And guess what? Another procedural play. Another 5 yards.
Well, let's see. Carlisle take that penalty.
So Blevins is saying, I run all the way down there, leap, and make almost an unreal catch for nothing.
Cheerleaders used to have a call, push him back, way back. Now Chambersburg's walking back all by themselves.
And that's exactly right. So now it's 1st and 20. 11:41 to go here in the 4th. As Carlisle's taken over this contest, and guess what? Another flag. This is getting ridiculous if you're the Challenger Trojans.
I thought it was, June 16th being the Flag Day, Mike?
Well, maybe another country honors a Flag Day, and that's what we're doing tonight. We're honoring whoever. But, I mean, now it's starting to get a little embarrassing. 3 straight 5-yard penalties. 1st and 25. And guess what? The clock, it doesn't really move much when you're immediately getting a penalty. And this game is starting to drag out. It's now over 2 hours long. So let's see what we can do here. Leedy's going to try it again. Motion by Johnson left. Leedy waits for the football, and he feeds it to Warren Lee. Warren Lee down the middle. Maybe a yard or so. But still a long way to go for a 1st down.
I guess Carlisle was thinking Chambersburg needs to pass to move that ball that great distance, and Chambersburg tried to confuse him with a run up the middle, but they were not successful.
Warren Lee's had a good game for the Trojans, even though they're down now big, 22 points. He had a 1-yard run there in the 1st quarter. He's had some great runs down the middle of the defense against Carlisle, and he had his 2nd touchdown in the 3rd quarter. So 2nd and 23, 11 minutes to go to the end of this contest. High snap, Leedy able to recover. He throws it down the middle, intended for Blevins. He gets rocked, and there is a flag, and we're on the Carlisle visiting side, and they are not happy because there is a flag. It looks like they're going to call it interference, or we'll see. The umpire is now talking to number 33, Chucky Nist.
Now, does high school ball have the penalty for hitting a defenseless receiver, or is that just in the pros, Mike?
It's a good question. I don't recall, but this one is definitely on an intended receiver. I mean, he was trying to get that football, and he got totally rocked. And coaching staff on the Carlisle side not happy with the officiating. He made some comments there. So the Trojans now, after his 2 and 23, now 2nd and 8. Leedy scrambling to the left side. He's trying to find somebody downfield. He throws a long one over the heads of the 2 Trojan receivers. Spencer Seaman, one of them. And it's going to be 3rd and 8. So you go from 2 and 23 to a 15-yard penalty. It's been one of the wackiest series right here for the Chambersburg Trojans. So now 10:49 to go, 43-21 Carlisle. Trojans play Harrisburg next Saturday, and then they'll end their season against Cumberland Valley on November 6th. Trips on the right side. Leedy waits for the snap. He gets it. He throws, and it's intercepted by Carlisle's number 26, Nate Barnes. He's at the 20, that 15, that 10, and he goes in for the touchdown. His 4th one of tonight. And Carlisle is now taking complete command of this contest.
That was about 53-yard interception return.
So what was 43-21, now 49-21, as that was signed, sealed, delivered to number 26, Nate Barnes, as Leedy, he just kind of, there you go, you want it? And he ran in for the score.
Now we have the always exciting Carlisle PAT attempt.
Not sure if this is a career night for Barnes, but it has to be up there. And let's see, they're actually going to do a kick, and this one is no good, but a flag, another flag. Man, Gary, we should have done a tally how many flags. This is unbelievable.
Well, it looks as if both sides are walking off the field, so it must have been against Carlisle.
So while they figure that out, let's take a quick break. This is F&M Trust Sports Network on MidpenBroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Had an auto accident? It's common to wonder how things could have turned out differently, if only.
No regrets.
If only you had Erie Insurance. With Erie, instead of regrets, you can focus on putting your mishap behind you. With an Erie Rate Lock auto policy, your rate won't take a hit, no matter what. It stays put until you change a car, driver, or address. People who treat you fairly, legendary service, great rates. That's what it means to have seriously good insurance for your auto, home, or business. Erie Insurance. See for yourself why Erie received the J.D. Power Award for highest in customer satisfaction with the auto insurance purchase experience 3 years in a row.
Your Erie agent in Greencastle and Waynesboro is Antrim Insurance Agency. Get a quote at AntrimInspa.com.
Erie Rate Lock is not available in all states. Limited to 3 years in Virginia. Other conditions and limitations at ErieInsurance.com. For J.D. Power Award information, go to JDPower.com.
Erie Insurance. Live and local. This is MidpenBroadcasting.com.
Back here in Chambersburg, we got a wild one with a capital W. 49-21, Carlisle leads, and there was a penalty there and on the extra points.
15-yarder against Carlisle, so they're kickoff from their own 25. Trojans should be in good field position as we watch for another squib kick, possibly, Mike?
Who knows? Probably. The way this game's been going, we've seen everything, and the answer is no. It's a nice one by the Carlisle as Darius Johnson let it bounce past him. Now he's over at the 5-yard line, and he's now at the 10, the 15, 18-yard line, still on his feet, and finally tackled around the 21-yard line. So a good job by Carlisle. Like you've been saying, Gary, squib kick has been like that all night. And then they do just a regular traditional kickoff.
A 65-yard kick and about a 10-yard return. Now here's an interesting stat for you, Mike. Carlisle has scored 7 touchdowns. They've got 49 points on the board, but they only have one PAT, 1-point kick extra point.
Yeah, and we saw, if you were watching GameTimePA.com, you kind of know why they do 2-point conversions.
Some accidental, some for real.
So here's Hunter Leedy. He did not have a stellar first series as quarterback, as he's now in for Caden Hoover, who was the quarterback throughout the game. And what happened last time this series was basically 4 penalties, an interception thrown, and Nate Barnes going 64 yards for a score. So 10-10 to go here in the contest. 49-21, Carlisle leads. And the little brown jug stays in Shippensburg for the 5th consecutive year. So you got that going on. You got Greencastle was losing big, and now you got Chambersburg losing big. Darius Johnson, he's still in the game, and he goes a couple yards and a couple tackles, but the herd stops him for a gain of maybe 3.
A little frustration on Chambersburg's part now. We have the official having some conversation with Chambersburg.
And I tell you what, the main guy, the white hat, the referee, he doesn't put up with nothing. I mean, he's throwing flags. If you talk a little bit, if you get a fumble and you think you should go for the gold, he's going to throw a penalty at you if he says, no, you were down. So, got to watch out for him. So, it's 3rd and 3. Trojans trying to get a first down. Seems like a long time since they did, and they will. Fresh set of downs for the Chambersburg Trojans.
Now, they have made a lot of first down conversions tonight, haven't they, Mike?
They did, as Carter Edmondson got that first down, but it seems like that was all in that first half. I mean, the Trojans actually had a lead. Trojans had a lead of 14-13, 5:22 to go at halftime, and after that, they did score one more time thus far, but it's been all Carlisle. 1st and 10, 8:40 to go. As Hunter Leedy under center, another handoff, and maybe a couple yards for Edmondson.
Now, a couple players are questioning, I guess, their opponent's ancestry there. We see a little frustration on both sides.
So the game is starting to get a little out of hand, as this game is Definitely look like a win by Carlisle. They'll improve to 4-4. Trojans will go 1-7, unless some miraculous action happens in the last 8 minutes of this game.
Well, we've seen kickoff returns. We've seen interception returns. We've seen a lot of different things happen tonight.
2nd and 5, another handoff. And still, there is a flag. Another flag. I'm going to have to go in the archive and watch this one, Gary. I've never seen so many flags my entire life. Make some popcorn and watch the entertainment because this has been crazy. Fans are starting to file out there on the Chambersburg side. Starting to get a little chilly as this game is getting a little comical.
I looked over as you mentioned that, and Chambersburg has some very acrobatic cheerleaders. Very talented cheerleaders in their center field.
So the officials are figuring out what the penalty is and why they try to figure it out. Let's talk about the thanks to Waste Management. Waste Management, environmentally friendly technology and advanced innovations. And also thanks to Electron Comfort Solutions, serving all of Franklin County, with professional service and installation, and Klein Tours, New York, Atlantic City, and so much more. Visit kleintours.net for a complete tour schedule. Mike Berger along with Gary Lang. And a lot of marching down the field by the umpire.
Yeah, not the band, but it looks like 2 major penalties against Carlisle in that play.
So it's going to be 1st and 10. 7:39 to go. Ball now all the way. March forward to the 17-yard line. Deep in Carlisle territory. Leading now. Another handoff and nowhere to go this time. Couple big tackles there by the Herd. It's like 33, Chucky Niss there.
I see a little bit of Chambersburg's fire department in the area. Several trucks moving around South 6th Streets. And
so you can tell that game's getting out of the way when Gary's checking out what's going on the streets. And another couple run gain by number 27, Carter Edmondson. As the clock is still ticking, 6:50 to go.
Ball down on the 15-yard line.
Trojans down big.
Several players in, several out. 18 seconds left on the 25-second clock.
So now Leedy's going to try again. 2 yards to go for a first down. Edmondson has it. He's still on his feet. Goes by a couple of tacklers, and he is close to a touchdown. Let's see if it's enough. Officials are unsure. Looks like it's going to be around the 2 or 1 yard line. It is going to be a first down for the Trojans. As Chambersburg trying to make this game respectable. And it is a touchdown now for the Trojans. So the Trojans get 6 points on the board. It's now 49-27.
1 yard Edmondson run.
So Carter gets a score. And if you like a lot of scoring, this is the game to watch. Now 49-27 Trojans on the other end that you don't want them to be. And the kick by Taylor is good. And with 6:09 to go, Trojans down 49-28. We'll be right back after these messages. This is the F&M Trust Sports Network on MidPennBroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
There's nothing like being at the game. The excitement, the fun, the food, and all the waste. Whether it's popcorn boxes, hot dog wrappers, or this soda cup. Big games generate tons of waste. That's why Waste Management is helping stadiums and businesses reduce waste altogether through recycling and organic composting. To learn more, talk to your local waste management representative or visit thinkgreen.com.
This is Chambersburg Trojans football on MidPennBroadcasting.com.
Back here at Chambersburg High School, Trojans down 49-28. Chambersburg did just score 6 points with the extra point good. Edmondson with the score. And
how are we going to see an onside kick attempt there?
You got to try to do anything if you want to do a miracle here. And there is the onside kick by Taylor, and there is a flag as
another flag on the play
as the ball went out of bounds before anybody could do anything with it. So Trojans tried, but it'll be, guess what, another penalty.
Yeah, Carlisle looks like they'll take over on their about their own 49-yard line.
So it's hard to believe first quarter and into the second quarter. We were talking about this is a ball game. Got Trojans up 14-13 after the Edmondson touchdown, and then just some hard luck penalties have caused the Chambersburg Trojans just Carlisle just coming back with a fury. Nate Barnes with his third touchdown to go to halftime.
The chain gang has had a tough night tonight too. They were having trouble spotting it.
So here's the quarterback, Eric Harris. He's still in the contest, and he passes a good one to Gavin Barnes. Caught around the 49-yard line.
He made a deep drop and tried for the screen pass, which was completed, but nothing doing against Chambersburg defense on that play. Maybe a pickup of one. And as Walt Oliver would say, the ball's on the midfield stripe.
5:41 to go. Ball on the 50-yard line. Harris barking out the call. He's feeding it to Milliton. Milliton goes around three defenders. The fourth defender finally tackles him down around the 45-yard line. So a nice gain by him.
He's got some speed to him.
Number 32.
He's had a big night tonight, too.
Yes, he has.
Both sides of the ball.
And really the backbreaker was that return after that kickoff, 70 yards. So here's Harris once again. He's faking a pass, still has it. Now he throws it, and it's caught, and he stays in bounds. He's still on his feet, and finally tackled down. Great catch by the Carlisle Thundering Herd. Number 26, Nate Barnes. Who else? Of course, Nate Barnes.
Well, he was in the middle of three Chambersburg defenders, and he had some height to him, jumped up, made the catch, and took three to wrestle him down.
Nate Barnes, who has 4 touchdowns tonight, able to stay in bounds with the catch. Now another handoff, and
for Copio.
Now it's getting down to a little over 4 minutes. One of those things where you're just saying, okay, let's get this done. You've scored enough points. Now let's think about next week.
Now, is this a late game tonight, Mike?
Well, I'm starting to yawn, so it's 9:30. It's been a long game. As Harris, long snap, gets it. He's looking for end zone, and his intended receiver doesn't get it. It's intercepted by the Chambersburg Trojans.
And that's a touchback on the play.
Number 28, Khalib Thompson. So it looks like they were trying to get it out to Nate. Instead, it goes to Thompson. The Trojans will have it on the 20-yard line.
Well defended by Chambersburg, and a good result with the interception. So Chambersburg takes over on their own 20 with 4:16 left in the ball game.
2 more games left after tonight for Chambersburg. At Harrisburg next week on a Saturday. Happy Halloween, everyone, next Saturday. And then last game at Cumberland Valley as Warren Lee gets a yard.
Now, what costume is young Derek Berger going to be wearing?
He's going to be wearing Captain America.
I thought he might have a striped baseball uniform on with the number 2 on the back.
We're still in mourning after their do-or-die defeat.
Knocked out of the playoffs.
Yeah, we'll put it back on here after Halloween's over. So 49-28, 3:46 to go here to close out this contest as it's been a marathon, not a sprint. As we're now at 9:30 here on the East Coast. Edmondson has the ball right side. 30-35 down around. Looks like the 33-yard line.
That's probably a soccer stripe on the field there, but you know how they have the stripes during the NFL games going across the field there.
Yeah, this is a beautiful field Chambersburg has. Definitely multi-purpose. Edmondson has the ball again, couple yards. But yeah, the Trojans have had this field. I mean, time goes so fast. Maybe, I don't know, 10 years now.
I would say 10
About
years.
10 years, and it's just one of the best around. I mean, does a little bit. You can do anything on this thing.
Yeah, they had to play up at Shippensburg University for several years while the construction was going on with the bleachers in the field.
Here's Carter Edmondson, left side, first down Chambersburg, 2:44 to go.
Now, would you say about 15 first downs, about 15 penalties?
For Chambersburg?
Yes, sir.
I'd say there's been a lot more than 15 for the whole game, but yeah, it's just been one of those nights. A lot of first down. I mean, there's some positive things. Yeah, we got some first downs, but if you outweigh the penalties, it doesn't matter. Here's Leedy scrambling right side. Intended receiver, no good. And that was Josh Honoret. And Waynesboro, Greencastle next Friday night. That's a good one. Waynesboro at James Buchanan tonight. And it looks like they're winning 60-3. That's what I see here. Lizzie Arbogast retweeting. Waynesboro scores again now up 60-3. So not quite that bad here at Trojan Stadium, but Trojans just want to get a little more points on the board, make it a little more respectable. Edmondson, I swear he's had the ball, 6-7 straight times now?
He's been running the ball hard. There's another pick of 5 or 6 yards on that play.
As we close in close to the 2-minute mark here to end the Week 8 for the Chambersburg Trojans. As Hunter Leedy, he's been the quarterback here, as Edmondson once again, as he's tackled, will be close to a first down. Tackled inbounds.
And they move the chains.
So once they set the chains, they'll start the clock here. Everybody's probably just hoping to end this one here. Up now 49-28.
Buck 37 left on the clock.
Leedy under center. He wants to pass. And he's looking for Edmondson around the 20-yard line. He makes the catch. And another first down for Chambersburg.
A helmet tackle by Carlisle that time.
Check that. That was number 82, Griffin Leedy with the catch.
And Chambersburg takes a timeout.
And with that timeout, remind you once again about Chalk Talk, the only program dedicated exclusively to Franklin County high school football on MidpenBroadcasting.com every Thursday night at 7:30 from the John Allison Public House at their new location. That's on the Antrim Way area right there in Greencastle. We preview each week's upcoming games, talk with players, coaches, reporters. Join us live every Thursday night on MidpenBroadcasting.com. I'd like to thank John Irwin tonight, doing a great job with the camera as he's getting all the close-up shots for you. As if you were watching it, have you seen anything you ever wanted to see and more in a football game?
We haven't had a safety yet tonight, have we, Mike?
No, we have not, but they still got 127 left. So we'll see if Chambersburg can put some points here to end the contest, as a handoff by Leedy goes nowhere, maybe a yard. Trojans still have one timeout left. If they want to try to score here, they may have to think about that with the clock ticking now, close to a minute to go. Edmondson has it. Couple juke moves now, gets past the defense, and the secondary tackles him around the 8-yard line.
And that means a first down and goal for the Chambersburg Trojans on the 7-yard line.
49-28 is your score. Edmondson going under center. He wants to throw in the end zone and almost caught by the leaping Trojan receiver, but out of his reach. He's way in the corner there. Try to get a number. It looks like it was number 10. And number 10 is Sean Vessa. Vessa had a great catch in the beginning of the ball game when it was competitive. I mean, it was back and forth. Vessa made the catch 2-yard line. And the Trojans were able to score after that play. 2nd and 7. Weedy with the snap. Gives it to Edmondson, still on his feet. 5 reaches in. Did he have it? Looks like he might have lost the football. The officials will start. Now they're saying touchdown. So a touchdown. Looked like there was a fumble there in the end zone, recovered by Chambersburg. Looks like number 87 for the Chambersburg Trojans, Cruz Rodriguez.
With fumble recovery.
So 49-34 now is the score. Rodriguez off the fumble, able to recover in the end zone. And Taylor's kick is good. So now with the score with 37 seconds to go, Carlisle leads 49-35 over the Chambersburg Trojans. This is the F&M Trust Sports Network on MidPennBroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Everything's falling this season, including F&M Trust home equity rates. With the home equity line of credit from F&M Trust, you can pay less rate and add more great to your life. Get extra funds to pay off high-interest bills, tackle home remodeling projects, or make other big purchases. Apply today, and you'll rake in even more savings with F&M Trust's special introductory rate. For details, connect with any local branch or visit fmtrustonline.com. Equal housing lender.
Chalk Talk. We talk high school football every Thursday night at 7:30 on MidPennBroadcasting.com.
Buddy, you're a boy, make a big noise, playing in the street, gonna be a big man someday. You got mud on your face.
Back here at Chambersburg High School, Chambers were able to put some points on the board, but there's only 37 seconds left in the contest. Trojans down 49-35. Carlisle has the ball, and Gary, you would think, a couple kneels. Let's get out of here. I've seen crazier things, though.
It's not over till it's over, Mike.
That's right. So 49-35. Trojans have 35 points, and if you look at all the points they've scored in the 7 games previously, it may add up to about 35. They did have some points against Mifflin County, but the other games, not a lot of scoring, and one of their main reasons why they're in this hole. So Cruz Rodriguez recovered that fumble in the end zone. So credit to him, get some points. And Carlisle doing the way it should do it. Just take your time and get out of here. As they're walking, I think they got to still get set, though, for one more.
No, the 25 seconds clock has not started.
So it's been one of the wackiest games I have ever seen for a high school game. It's going to end here.
With the officials delaying the game here.
Yeah. And with that, that will end it here at Chambersburg High School. Carlisle Thundering Herd wins it tonight. The final score, Carlisle 49, Chambersburg 35. And we'll wrap it all up right after these messages. This is the F&M Trust Sports Network on MidPennBroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Had an auto accident? It's common to wonder how things could have turned out differently, if only.
No regrets.
If only you had Erie Insurance. With Erie, instead of regrets, you can focus on putting your mishap behind you. With an Erie rate lock auto policy, your rate won't take a hit, no matter what. It stays put until you change a car, driver, or address. People who treat you fairly, legendary service, great rates. That's what it means to have seriously good insurance for your auto, home, or business. Erie Insurance. See for yourself why Erie received the J.D. Power Award for highest in customer satisfaction with the auto insurance purchase experience 3 years in a row.
Your Erie agent in Greencastle and Waynesboro is Antrim Insurance Agency. Get a quote at antrim.inspa.com.
Erie rate lock is not available in all states. Limited to 3 years in Virginia. Other conditions and limitations at erieinsurance.com. For J.D. Power award information, go to jdpower.com.
Erie Insurance. MidPennBroadcasting.com. Your home of the Chambersburg Trojans.
Tonight's postgame show brought to you by Anthem Insurance, your local area insurance agent serving Greencastle, Waynesboro, Chambersburg, Mercersburg, and surrounding areas. Anthem Insurance, 169 South Antrim Way, Greencastle, and 1685 East Main Street in Waynesboro. Mike Berger along with Gary Lang. It's the finally. Week 8 action comes to a close here at Chambersburg High School on senior night. It's a pink out for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And also it's the 100th meeting between the Chambersburg Trojans and the Carlisle Thundering Herd. And for the Chambersburg Trojans, they lose tonight 49-35. And it was a lot of scoring, a buffet of scoring, if you love lots of touchdowns, especially by Nate Barnes, who had 4 of them. And for Chambersburg Trojans, Gary, it was a contest. In fact, the Trojans were actually up in this game at one point, 14-13.
Well, what I like best about the Trojans tonight, they had a tremendous running game. They probably had well over 200 yards rushing. So they've got to look at that for the last 2 games there, see how well their run game will hold up against Harrisburg next week and against Cumberland Valley 2 weeks down the road.
Yeah, so a lot of still some football to play. You got 2 more games for the Chambersburg Trojans, but this game was just one of the wackiest ones to ever listen to, view it hopefully, and be here to watch it live. A lot of scoring. Warren Lee had a touchdown. Carter Edmondson had one for Chambersburg Trojans. You had one by Cruz Rodriguez for the Trojans, and for Carlisle it was a host of names. And really what hurt the Chambersburg Trojans there was the ending of the second quarter. You know, Nate Barnes did have his 3rd touchdown, and that was only 3 minutes to go in the half. I mean, we're saying here, you know, for the Trojans, hold them, exactly. And after that, it was all Carlisle, as they were able to show why they averaged 35 points a game throughout the season. And I figured they'd be a little mad. I mean, they played, you know, one of the toughest teams around in the state last week against Central Dauphin. They lost 52-27. So you knew for them, they want to get their frustration out and go against a squad now that Chambersburg falls to 1-7. They wanted to show, they have a chance to get in the playoffs. I mean, this is a big game for them. They're now improving to 4-4. They'll be 2-3 in mid-Penn play. So they got a lot of work to do. Their season's not over by long shots. And for tonight, they put up a reason why they're a team to be reckoned with the rest of the way.
Yes, they're fighting for those playoff spots, and tonight could be a difference maker for them. One question here. I saw the Carlisle coach requesting the game ball. Who do you think he awarded the game ball tonight to?
Probably Nate Barnes, if I was him.
I would think so. He had a big night, yes.
Yeah, that was a good guess. I didn't even look out there, but yeah, he definitely deserves it. So final thoughts right after these messages. This is the F&M Trust Sports Network on MidPennBroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Have heating or air conditioning needs? Look no further than Lecron's Comfort Solutions. We service all brands: heat pumps, humidifiers, system replacements, gas, oil, electric heat, and ductless systems. Lecron's Comfort Solutions is your authorized Terrain dealer. Call Corey at 717-597-3768 for a free estimate. We are licensed and insured. Lecron's Comfort Solutions. Local company, local name. Serving Greencastle and all of Franklin County with professional service and installation.
Chalk Talk. We talk high school football every Thursday night at 7:30 on MidPennBroadcasting.com.
Back here in Chambersburg, Trojans lose 49-35 as they have 2 more games to play here in the 2015 football campaign. And Gary, final thoughts.
Well, Chambersburg played hard. They were in the game, but again, they could not put it away, and Carlisle pulled away from Chambersburg. So Chambersburg has work to do, but there are some bright spots with their running game and their defense.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, there's some positives, but unfortunately for them, there's too many negatives tonight as they're in the L column. Trojans now fall to 1-6. Carlisle improves to 4-4.
They came a high-powered offense in Carlisle. Great passing game, and we saw that Air Force tonight from Carlisle.
Exactly right. So I'd like to thank everybody for joining us tonight. Tonight's game's been a production of MidPennBroadcasting.com. Tonight's camera operated by John Irwin. Great job. And join us next Friday night and Saturday afternoon, I might add. That'd be week 9. We'll have Chambersburg and Harrisburg. That's at Harrisburg. And we'll also have some more action for you as well. And it'll be Greencastle at Waynesboro. Oh, what a game that should be.
Great rivalry. Yes.
Great rivalry in Greencastle after their big loss tonight. And Waynesboro, winning. They were winning really big. When we last checked, it was like 60-3. So, got a big week next week. Thanks so much for joining us. And I'd like to remind you of all of our wonderful sponsors tonight that make this game possible. This game is brought to you by F&M Trust. Pay less rate, get more great this fall with a special offer on the home equity line of credit. Learn more at fnmtrustonline.com. Equal housing lender. Anthem Insurance, your local area insurance agent serving Greencastle, Waynesboro, Chambersburg, Mercersburg, and surrounding areas. Waste management, environmentally friendly technologies, and advanced innovations. Del Martin Incorporated, a full-service advertising agency serving the tri-state area for 35 years. Lecron Comfort Solutions, serving all of Franklin County with professional service and installation. Klein Tours, New York City, Atlantic City, and so much more. Visit KleinTours.net for a complete tour schedule. For Gary Lang, I'm Mike Berger. Once again, the final score here at Chambersburg High School. It's Carlisle 49, Chambersburg 35. Good night, everyone.